One of the most boring games probably of the year. This freaking Eagles crawling past the Packers on Monday Night Football. 10-7. Eagles are coasting through the NFC, but are they? Are they paper tigers? Is this a team that's going to get lambasted by whichever AFC team they face? The Packers frauds, you could say. A team that's got a lot of talent, but much like the Atlanta Falcons, can't put it together, can't stay consistent, doesn't have the full arsenal, can get exposed at any moment. Paper tigers upon paper tigers on the squad. This was one of the worst games of the year. It started to get better at the end, the tail end. If it wasn't for Devontae Smith and Jacobs and a little bit of Barkley, there wouldn't have been anything here. And what is Jalen Hurts going to do? You know, when the tush push is gone. I know we keep talking about how, yeah, he can be a good quarterback at times. He really can be. But he can also be very fraudulent. And he's supported by an all-star team, a super team. But he can't get the ball to A.J. Brown. And then A.J. Brown gives up. And A.J. Brown, it's a clown show out there. I don't know how the Philadelphia Eagles are 7-2. It's schedule. It's who they faced. But this is not a team that I believe is Super Bowl material, but yet they're positioned to be. And we'll break it all down and more. One of the worst games of the year. The Fantasy Football Show begins now.
Live from the FantasyFootballShow.com studios. It's the Fantasy Football Show. Live! Monday through Friday, 8 p.m. Eastern. Smitty is also live whenever news breaks.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, some people are going to argue that it's just defense, right? Good defense. Two good defenses battling it out. Or was it just two piss-poor offenses mixed with two pretty good defenses that if it was a different offense opposing either one of them, that said offense would probably score 23 points. What are we really doing here? Debating this. These were not two good offenses out on the field. They weren't. You can blame it on the defense all you want, but this was pretty pathetic. And A.J. Brown, waste of space. This team should have traded him. They should have got what they could. Maybe they could have figured out a way to help themselves this year in some sort of trade. I increased the volume. Is this volume a lot better? Is it too loud? Is it sound about right? Am I reverbing the hell out of the building? Or what are we looking like on the audio? I think I fixed everything. Might have done a little too much tweaking, but if it sounds good to you, it sounds good to me. Jeez, man. What a pathetic game. Let's break down maybe the worst game of the year. And honestly, it was very much the worst game of the year until the end when we got some scoring. But 74 yards and a touchdown out of Josh Jacobs, as you can see over here in the middle of this right side of the screen. But he did have a 5 for 33. So Jacobs did actually come away with a pretty good line. Christian Watson, 2 for 45. Devontae Smith, 4 for 69 and a touch. Nice day at the office. Barkley didn't do horrible because he had the 3 for 41. I mean, anytime you get 7 PPR points, it's nice. And then you add that to his 5 rushing or 6, then, you got yourself a decent low double-digit scoring affair. So, not ideal to get like 13 points, but it could have been a lot worse. Hurts, 183, barely got that touchdown. If it wasn't for the Slim Reaper pulling that in, Hurts is mid. I know Hurts has been playing really well the last couple of games, and I've come in and eat crow. And I admittedly tell you when I think Hurts is playing good. I say credit where credit's due. I come in and I say that exact line. Credit where credit is due. When Hurts is balling out and he's got his super team playing at a high level, Hurts can play some good ball. He's a good fantasy quarterback. Him and Caleb with the offenses, Ben Johnson, offensive coordinator, all the weapons, Jalen Hurts with his super team. These are two quarterbacks that can produce good fantasy football scoring on any given Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday. Doesn't matter. But are they great quarterbacks? I look at them kind of the same in some respects. Jalen Hurts he can score fantasy points. I'm not trying to sit here and say Hurts isn't a top 5 fantasy quarterback. He certainly has the weapons to do it. Each week he does. But what happens when the tush push is gone next year? You know damn well the commissioner is coming straight for that in the offseason. He was caught off guard with the tush push, couldn't get it banned in time. He didn't think he needed to do a lot of political campaigning to get rid of the tush push. The commissioner thought he could just come in and strong arm the league in the offseason and get rid of it, but the league said no. But here's the thing. Everybody's so sick and tired of these refs screwing up the tush push and trying to call it the right way. These teams will flip on that vote. There's no way the tush push is staying. These owners want it gone. Everyone's going to want it gone. That vote's going to look so different from one day to the next. It's going to be like night and day. So what happens when the tush push is gone? Well, Jalen Hurts turns back into not a pumpkin. I still think he can score fantasy points. He's still a good rushing quarterback. He's as good as really any good rushing quarterback in the league, instead of going from, Superman to down to like a Bo Nix type running quarterback, down to Drake May or lesser or equal to Drake May style of running quarterback. Right now, he's a superhuman. 15, 14 touchdowns, continues to do it. If we look at his QBs, let me pull this up. This is just remarkable when you look at it. 15 touchdowns, 2023, 15 rushing touchdowns, 2022, 13 rushing touchdowns, and this is 2023, 15. The guy constantly, I don't even have 2024 on here. How many touchdowns did he have in 2024? Let's see. Jalen Hurts, 2024 rushing TDs. He rushed for 14. So just a complete consistent 13, 14, 15, even capable of like 17 rushing touchdowns per season. But I don't think we're going to see that again after this season. This will be the last season he has that ability to say, this is like an extra running back. Michael Vick was like a running back and a quarterback. And I always hate when people use that, because it's not. That you're encompassing all their points and you're saying, what do they score overall against their position? I can't stand when people say it's like having a running back. This is kind of like having a running back, but it's like having a running back and a half a quarterback. But the last couple weeks, Hurts has been dropping fire. And I said credit where credit's due. Tonight, he looked like a paper tiger again. Tonight, without A.J. Brown trying hard. A.J. Brown's that nuclear weapon warhead that's out there dismantled. Everybody knows that the plate's taken off the side. The wires have been cut. The blue wire and red wire have been crossed, and A.J. Brown's powered down. And A.J. Brown isn't doing shit. A.J. Brown ain't going to pick up one of those bouncy balls if it comes onto one of the beach balls flies onto the field. A.J. Brown ain't doing any extra work. A.J. Brown isn't wearing any extra flair at all. He's going to wear the bare minimum amount of flair on his uniform. He ain't going to put on an extra smiley face. He's not bending down to pick up a beach ball. He won't even take a mattress off the field like somebody would on the freeway when they get to the end of that pileup and they say, oh, there's a mattress covering one of the lanes. A.J. Brown would drive right around it. A.J. Brown ain't doing anything for nobody. Nobody. Eagles should have traded this lazy wide receiver. And Jalen Hurts, I don't know. I think a lot of people are going to come in here, especially in the comments later, and they're going to go, oh, Smitty, you're such an Eagle hater. I'm not an Eagle hater. I've been a big advocate of Hurts for years. Hurts was one of the original Moon Men when we only had Moon Men. Loved A.J. Brown. Used to go live with A.J. Brown on IG once an off season for, I think, 3 straight off seasons. Was a big friend of the channel. It's not like there's any bad blood or anything. We just go live. He was an awesome dude. But money kind of changed him. Money changed him. His desire, his drive, his like, I don't know. It's just this entitled wide receiver mentality, this diva mentality. A.J. Brown's a completely different player. Much like Brandon Ayuk turned into a completely different player. The mindset's not there. A.J. Brown's a crybaby. When this Eagles team was 4-0, A.J. Brown pouted like a little baby. Walked to the locker room pouting and complaining, walking straight to the locker room. We're 4-0. I didn't get the ball. We're 4-0. Now, it's not all on A.J. Brown. This man right here doesn't get him the ball. I kind of understand where it comes from. I don't think he should wear it on his sleeve. I don't think he should have a frown upside down all the time. I think that this man is a crybaby. I think this man doesn't know how to play quarterback. And I think the combination just isn't quite right for consistent fantasy football production is what I think. But we'll see. I know the Eagle fans will be in here later in the comments like, you don't know what you're talking about. Hurts is a top 5 quarterback. He's a Super Bowl MVP. Hurts is a Hall of Famer. Hurts might be some of those things in some of those ways, but at the end of the day, I do believe Hurts is a benefactor of his environment, which is a super team. And you can't separate player from situation when it's popping off. I get it. I understand it. I'm not mad at it. And I certainly don't care what anybody thinks about my opinion. That's why I do what I do. My platform is here so I can express my opinion to the best of my abilities. And if people don't like it, and a lot of people won't, a lot of people will, that's the way it is. That's fine. But I'm here to be my talking head self and literally tell you that I think that this is a mid quarterback, good athlete, good runner, pretty strong commander in chief. His team believes in him. He's calm and collective. He's like Burrow in terms of he's as cold as ice. His blood pressure's low. Honestly, if I needed a touchdown, we're on the 10-yard line, I would probably pick Jalen Hurts as one of the top guys in the league if my life was on the line where he had to get it into the end zone because I think he'd tuck it, run. He'd figure out a way to be calm and collective. Those things, if you're a hater, you don't say a lot of positive things like I just said about Jalen Hurts. There's a lot of good stuff, but none of them are he is a good drop back passer, that he's a good passing quarterback. All those are he's a great decision maker in certain contexts. He's very good near and around the end zone. He's good at sneaking. He's good at running. He's very collective. He doesn't get rattled. But this man's not a good quarterback. He's a mediocre quarterback. He's a great football player. He's a great overall athlete. He's a great commander, but he's not a great quarterback. He's just not. And you know who's no longer a great wide receiver? A.J. Brown, because he doesn't care. He doesn't care. His team is 7-2. Wonder what he's going to say tonight. I wonder what cryptic message is going to be placed on his Instagram stories tonight. I wonder what quote he's going to use. Maybe the quote will be, I'm the best, but sometimes I'm not given the ball. Random quote. You guys are reading too much into things. I just happened to find that quote, and it looked real good, and I said it out there. Here's another random quote from A.J. Brown, which he'll deny has anything to do with the situation. I need the football, and if I don't get it, I'm going to cry and complain. A.J. Brown. Now, Packer fans and the Packers, you don't get to escape this lambasting. Time to talk about this fraudulent team that has a fraudulent quarterback in Jordan Love, that has a very, very mid QB. We're talking about, unfortunately, I hate to say this because I'm essentially telling you, as of this moment, there's time and room for change and development. I mean, the guy I'm about to tear down right now that I believed in and promoted on this channel that I'm going to be wrong about for the moment has been a player that I've been talking up a while, and he's still young. He's got a lot of time to develop. But this feels a lot like the Penix Jr. situation in Atlanta. There is some production. When things go perfect, there's a lot of people saying, oh, it's a good quarterback. Now, the difference is Jordan Love's been at it a little longer. And he has a great defense in a great situation, great quarterback. Doesn't have good wide receivers. So there is a chance Jordan Love should be better than he is. Just like there's a chance that Penix Jr. should be better than he is. Penix Jr.'s got an incompetent coaching staff. Penix Jr. has incompetent play calling. Penix Jr. has one of the best arsenals of weaponry in the National Football League, and his incompetent coaching staff can't get him to capitalize on his strengths. They keep putting him in places where his weaknesses shine, like the shiniest object on planet Earth. This guy right here, Jordan Love, can't get wide receivers for anything. His organization doesn't know how to draft wide receivers. His organization drafted a wide receiver that had no business being in the first round at all in the 2025 NFL draft. We talked about it on this channel. But what did Packer fans say? What did people say over and over? Oh, Matthew Golden, he's so fast. He wasn't on the radar for being an elite wide receiver 1 or even close to a first-round pick, maybe not even a second-round pick, until he ran his 40. Once everybody started saying this kid's fast, they let the 40 time dictate his draft slotting, and then everybody said, this is the first time Green Bay's taken a wide receiver in a couple decades, Smitty. Don't you think that it's going to work out? They wouldn't have done it if they don't do it. If they don't do it, they did it. That means they got to love him. No, you're asking somebody who doesn't practice drafting wide receivers ever for 2 decades to go get it right. You're asking the team that doesn't know how to do it to go get it right and be 1 for 1 in 20 years? I don't think so. They needed someone else to make this call. This was the worst wide receiver decision they could have made because they could have taken him later. But they decided not to go with the wide receiver 1. They draft yet another wide receiver 1 debacle, and they can't even make Jaden Reed, when he's healthy, a wide receiver 1. What makes anyone think this guy's going to succeed? I don't even know if I blame him. I don't think I can blame him, but he's trash. Love is mid. Jalen Hurts is better than mid because he's surrounded by a super team, and we'll never know how bad or good he'll be because guess what? Howie is the GM of GMs. I still love Adam Peters, but I think Adam Peters has some answering to do. He's got some decisions he's got to make, and he's got to show that he can adjust and adapt with the staff when they're not pulling their weight. So Howie's the king right now. Howie's the king. This GM knows what in the hell he's doing, and he's going to bubble wrap Jalen Hurts for his entire career. So Jalen, we're going to have this debate over and over and over every year, but I will tell you this. The fantasy football top 3, top 4, top 2, overall lock production. We'll have the debates about football. Is he good here? Is he still a great quarterback? But from a fantasy perspective, in 2026 and beyond, he's going to go down. And Howie can't even fix that because the tush push will be gone. The short yardage touchdowns will be gone. And Jalen Hurts, exposed as he is, will still have no pause needed. No pause needed there. Right now it's exposed. And he is going to be put on a spotlight, where we measure more than this rushing production. And how consistent can he be? He can't throw that well. Sometimes he can throw. Everybody in the NFL can throw. Kyler Murray can throw sometimes. Jimmy Garoppolo can throw sometimes. Russell Wilson was throwing missiles left and right in week 1, and then he fell flat on his face. If you're in the National Football League, you can throw footballs. That's why you were brought into the league. You don't make it into the NFL not being able to throw a football. Doesn't mean you're an accurate quarterback. Jordan Love was trash. Jalen Hurts was mid. A.J. Brown in this game was trash. Josh Jacobs was good. Saquon Barkley underutilized again, but good. Not great. Not great. Wasn't his fault. Doesn't matter. His production was not great, but his yards per carry were a abysmal 2.7 yards per carry, 22 to 60 yards. But it's not his fault. You can watch him run. He's not getting any blocking. The Eagles have done this all year. I still think he's a great buy low if you can buy right now. We'll talk about that in a minute. I'm sure we'll have questions around it. But you look at this reception that he had, this 41-yard long. He's quick. He's agile. He's still explosive. But they don't block for him. But it is what it is. From a fantasy perspective, you can't separate situation from player. So is Saquon producing at the elite level? No, he's not. But he's still a very good buy low. This team is fraudulent. And yes, Devontae Smith.
You've just been Smitty.
The Slim Reaper. And if they had traded A.J. Brown, the Slim Reaper would be ranked even higher. But Devontae Smith balling. What did Goddard end up with? Goddard ended up with, so Devontae Smith to the moon. You can even send, the one guy we'll send to the moon will be Devontae Smith. Let's send him to the moon. He deserves to go to the moon.
To the moon.
To the moon. What are we hitting? These buttons are in the way. What are we doing here?
To Mars. Mars.
Come on. My whole system's freaking out. And it always shoves this Breece Hall video in the way, too. It's just like out of nowhere, it just plays this.
Breece Hall is 8 foot tall. He will all.
Where were we at? Slim Reaper, Saquon Barkley, A.J. Brown, 2 for 13, trash. Targets, 3. And if anybody saw that A.J. Brown catch, or non-catch, the A.J. Brown non-catch, even the announcers are saying if he had just come back for the ball, he could have potentially, got that pass interference call. A.J. Brown doesn't care. He doesn't care at all. If he's not getting the ball, he doesn't care if they win. He doesn't want them to win. He does. A.J. Brown would trade a W in for a 70-yard touchdown. A.J. Brown could care less. Doesn't care at all. Trades coming out of this game, coming out of week number 10. I will say that I still love buying Barkley low. I like buying the Slim Reaper low if this doesn't excite people enough and people are like, I might want to trade him off a touchdown, because it's not like he exploded. Barkley buy low, Jacobs buy low. Jalen Hurts, I don't think you're going to sell him high or, buy him necessarily low. Would I buy Jalen Hurts low? Am I hypocritical for saying buy Jalen Hurts low? No. Because he scores fantasy points. The tush push is in play. But, I don't know how consistent he'll always be. Yes, buy Barkley low. Buy Barkley low. A.J. Brown, I don't want anything to do with. If I could get A.J. Brown very cheap, I'd do it just to flip him. It'd be like finding a $10 collectible card I want no business owning, but I know it's worth $20. So I might say, okay, I'll take it for $7, $6, $5, and then I'll flip it for 20 because I know I can get 20 for it tomorrow. That's the only reason I'd even trade A.J. Brown. That's the only reason I'd trade A.J. Brown. Who's more checked out, J.J. or A.J. Brown? A.J. Brown's more checked out. Not even close. I don't care if J.J. doesn't want to tackle somebody. He still wants to win. J.J.'s still competitive. And J.J. actually likes his quarterback. A.J. Brown hates his quarterback. Packers wide receivers can't catch. Yeah, well, they also don't have a quarterback that's super consistent, regardless. Anyway. Let's get to these super chats and then we'll roll through the rest of the show, open up the phone lines and all that. $20 holler from H13, dropping a wad. H, appreciate you, my boy.
Alert. Super chat alert.
Dropped to 4 and 6, lost Garrett Wilson. I'm sorry. PPR 2 flex, QB Mahomes, Dart, Gibbs, Judkins, Chase Brown, Harvey, wide receiver Chase, Garrett Wilson, Tet, Downs, Tez. Offered Tet and Dart for Pickens. He just lost because of Jordan Love. What about moving Gibbs? I would not move Gibbs. There's no way I want to move Gibbs. Judkins, Gibbs, and Chase Brown are fantastic. Harvey waiting in the wings, love it. Chase, Garrett Wilson, Tet. I would definitely go get Pickens. Pickens is a fantastic wide receiver to put in this situation. And Tez is crafty. Would I get rid of Garrett Wilson and let's say Garrett Wilson and Dart? I'd do that. I don't think they're going to do it, but I'm just saying if you could throw Garrett Wilson in to get something else back, or trade Garrett Wilson for JMO, or trade Garrett Wilson for a tight end upgrade. Who's your tight end? Pitts. So go from Pitts to, whatever. Trade Garrett Wilson for injured Gadsden, who I think is more, 1 week at a time type of thing. Go get Bucky right now using Garrett Wilson and I don't know. You could always explore moving Harvey. You could move Chase Brown and Garrett Wilson for one bigger, stronger player. You could potentially go. I love Harvey, but if you trade Harvey and Garrett Wilson for Barkley, you could explore those types of moves. That would be interesting, but I ain't touching a Gibbs trade, bro. Gibbs is a monster, top 3 overall pick if we're drafting today. Don't even think about it. Try moving Garrett Wilson And only move Harvey because he's about to explode for a player that you could say to yourself, I'd die happy if Harvey played like this guy all year. So if that's Jacobs, if that is a player like Dowdle, then trade Harvey and Garrett Wilson for Dowdle. Trade Harvey and Garrett Wilson for player X, Y, or Z. As long as your answer is, if I could press a button and make Harvey play like this guy all year, I'd press it in a heartbeat, then you know you're making the right trade. DV, appreciate you, my boy. Let's see here. DVO says, trade my Hendy and K9 for Bijan or Hendy Diggs Nico. Hendy K9 for Bijan in a millisecond. It's not even close. I love Hendy, but the same example. I know we're worried about him a little bit, but if you could press a button and turn Hendy into Bijan right now, you know you do it. And K9 shouldn't even come remotely close to making you stop doing that deal. That's the easiest trade offer, even with the concern that I've seen all year. Started 0-3, 5-5 now. It's not over. Thanks, my guy. Thank you. Appreciate you, Seven, for dropping the update. We're proud of you, pal. Keep it up. Don't quit the fight. Started 1-4, now 5-5. Thanks to you and the chat. House Call Handy doing it live.
Taking it to the house every time he touches the football, baby. Taking it to the house every time he touches the football, baby.
Thank you, pal. Appreciate you. Let's see here. What's the next super chat? Next super chat, H13 again. My boy, dropping the wads. Follow up. If I move Gibbs, I'm looking at Bijan and Adunze. I'm keeping Gibbs. I love Adunze, but I love Gibbs' situation, love his offense, love the production, love everything. I love Bijan, but that's not moving the needle for me. I still think Gibbs is number 3, number 2, number 1 overall if you're drafting today. Might throw in Christian Watson. No one cares about that. Tez is okay. Wasn't talks for Jacobs and Buka. If I move Gibbs, don't move Gibbs. I like Adunze. I'm trying to get Adunze, but talks for Jacobs. Buka owner said Jacobs is the same tier as Gibbs. Then don't even talk to him anymore. No way I'm trading Gibbs. I love Bijan, bro, but look at everybody freaking out about Bijan, trying to trade him for trash. You know, and I'm not saying that I agree with any of that, but I'm just telling you, like, what are you selling Gibbs low for? If you sell Gibbs, you get Bijan and an Adams, assuming he was healthy, not an Adunze, who we like a lot, but that's not a difference maker, mover in that context with Gibbs being surrendered. 6-4. I put up 160 points. Smitty, 8-2. Appreciate you. Rise Above's dropping amazing updates for the squad. I'm so happy for all of you that crushed it. I think we had the most like 190 plus point scoring weeks by the followers of this channel being reported anyway in the comments that we've ever had. No, actually there was that one game. Was it this year? I think it was this year where everybody was in the 220s and 210s and 230s. It was crazy. Full PPR, 14-man, 5-5. Starters are Caleb, Saquon, Chase Brown, London, J-Mo, Hendy, Garrett Wilson, Terry. Man, you've been hit with injuries at the wide receiver room. Panic on Garrett Wilson? Absolutely panic on Garrett Wilson. I mean, Garrett Wilson's in the panic chamber as much as a person can be in the panic chamber. Bucky's in the panic chamber, certainly in the panic chamber. Let's take Bucky out for the moment and put old Garrett Wilson in the panic chamber. Garrett Wilson is we're about to send old Yeller to the farm. I don't know that Garrett Wilson is going to recover from this. I don't know that Garrett Wilson owners are going to recover for this. Garrett Wilson.
You are in the panic chamber.
Absolutely. As far as like getting rid of him, you're not going to get anything for him. You're just not. Unless you move him with another player, let's say Chase Brown, London, J-Mo, Hendy, Bowers. I like your team, though. You still have a really good team. I'm going to roll the dice with what you have, bro. I really like what you have, though. It's just you've been hit with injury. Do I send Loveland and Garrett Wilson for one player? Yes. Do I send Garrett Wilson and Caleb and Loveland, or Garrett Wilson and Caleb for a slight quarterback upgrade? Michael, focus on that. Bring a few of the options that you think are on the table. I'd throw out a bunch, but you're going to have to go to the team that maybe needs Caleb or has a quarterback. You could do a trade where, you know, I don't know who you could get. I just think selling Caleb high with Garrett Wilson might help you. But if you can go buy a quarterback low, I think, you know, like go get Josh Allen doing something. Go get Baker's nice to buy low. Drake May, try. Like, see what you can do. Mahomes, try buying low. Coming off a bad week and then a bye week. Some people are panicked on Mahomes a little bit, thinking he's going to return back into a pumpkin. So if you could trade Caleb and Garrett Wilson and Loveland to that team, and they happen to have a needed tight end too. 7-3, Mahomes, Genty, Warren, London, Chase Brown, Bowers, Buka, Chase Brown. Again, you're probably missing a player because you listed Chase Brown twice, but... Oh, no, Jamar Chase. I'm sorry. It was Warren, London, Jamar Chase. You put Jamar Chase after London, so I assumed it was Chase Brown. And you were starting like your running back list, because who on earth would put Chase after London? Who on earth would list it that way, Marquez?
You've just...
It's a good squad, bro. Jamar Chase, London, Genty, Warren. I mean, I wish you would list it in order. Chase Brown. Look, this is a good team. Once I decipher it and get my decoder ring out, I like the squad. I don't know that there's much to move. You're 7-3 for a reason. Why try and fix what isn't broken? But I mean, maybe we're trading Genty and damn, I don't know. I don't think you got much to move really, bro. Because I don't want to move these players. I'm going to let it ride. I'm going to say stand down. I like your team.
Alert. Stand down order in effect.
Jeez, that's a good squad, bro. Marquez bringing the fire. Just list it in order so we can properly relish the team, my boy. You know, don't show the house that you're trying to sell without mowing the lawn or picking up after the, you know, the dirty laundry. Was 3-6 in a must-win. Played against JT and lost on Love's last completion of the game. I'm sorry to hear that, bro. Oh, what a score. I'm sorry, 74. I had the same thing happen in the Mars Men League. I just needed McManus to kick one field goal, and then he went out there, and then they took him off the field, put the offense back out there. they threw an incomplete pass, and they put McManus out there, and he sailed it. I can't buy a win in the Mars Man League. I can't buy a win. Trade Nico for Josh Allen. Daniels was like, yeah, I'm fine with that trade. Look, Allen can carry you. I think there's a world where I like both sides, but without context, I'd say I'm fine with that. Josh Allen's a monster. Traded my Javonte and Adunze for Lamb. Did I cook? I think you both did well. If the owner that got Javonte and Adunze might get their value out of that, but you also will as well if you had enough surplus to make that happen. This is like Overstock.com over there on your team. Then, bro, you did well. I love Lamb. In a vacuum, I'd rather have Lamb. So I'd say, did you cook? I think so. I think the kitchen, I think the stove's on. The oven seems hot. Seems like a pretty good maneuver. 14-team league, 14-0 this week. Wow. Hendy to the house. Attaboy.
Taking it to the house.
Take it to the house. Hendy to the moon. Thank you, Kurt, for the super chat. My boy, dropping the wattage. Congratulations. This one here from Jay. Jay says Mahomes, Rico, Etienne, Hendy, Rashad, Buka, Adams, J-Mo, Franklin, Gadsden, Harvey. Any moves? I would probably say I love what you got here. Harvey, Hendy in the wings. You got Etienne and where's Tootin? Tootin's a concern. You don't have Tootin. But I like your team. I don't think I'm moving much. If Rashad White, I'd trade Rashad White away with your running back situation to maybe upgrade Franklin slightly or to potentially upgrade Etienne slightly. Rashad White, Etienne to the Tootin owner for one running back. Maybe you're buying Barkley low. Maybe you're buying, let's see, some of the running backs. We got the board over here still. Maybe you're buying. I really think. Do you have Nico? Is it you had Nico or Rico? Rico Dowdle. Damn it, that's the one guy I want you to get. I'd say Barkley's a nice buy low. Even Bucky for you for this team in this situation. You're 6-4. Can you get rid of ETN for Bucky? I advise people to trade Bucky for ETN and Tootin if they're in a spot. You might be a team that can go get Bucky using ETN. I like the squad though. I think I stand down for the most part, but I'd look for little things like that. That maybe a Jacobs. Maybe you can probably trade that combo. Brees Ferguson for Bucky. I would definitely rather have at 5-5 rather a Brees Hall right now at this current moment in time, given your situation. But in the situation where someone's 7 wins, 6 wins, I'm interested in Bucky. Trade accepted. My Flacco for Bucky. My Ferguson plus Woods for Rico. Come on, Nicholas. I'm almost not even proud of you. These are too easy. Do I approve? Of course I do. But when they're this easy, it's like, how can we really be excited? It's like, hey, Smitty, I dunked on this 3rd grader on the playground on an 8-foot hoop. You proud of me? I mean, that's what you just did. You just blasted grandma. I bet you in the nursing home where you performed this trade, they weren't even awake when you probably grabbed her phone, lifted her eyelids, unlocked it, accepted the trade for her. My team will be Hurts, Baker. Of course it will. CMC, HN, Kyron, Rico, Derrick Henry, Bucky, Monungai, St. Brown, Rice. Of course it will, McBride. Who's your wide receiver 2? Well, right now I'd throw Sutton in there, but maybe you could go trade for JJ on the cheap while you're ripping people off. Maybe you could go get lamb chops on the cheap. Maybe you could get potentially. You got Rice already, right? You got Rice already. I think lamb. I think you could maybe give up. I don't know, bro. Derrick Henry or Bucky with Sutton or Zay or all of them together and go get Lamb. Go get JJ for just one of them. Boys. Boy, yeah, it's like dunking on Kyler. I saw Kyler at the park and I dunked on him on an 8-foot hoop. You wouldn't be proud of me. You'd be like, pick on someone your own size, Smitty. First place, 12-man. Thank you for that super chat. First place, 12-man. Mahomes, Purdy, Bijan, Kyron, Sharps, Pacheco. Won't win. Playoffs losing. Wilson, BTJ trade ideas. Well, you can't sell Bijan high because it doesn't appear that the value's there. Would I move Kyron and Wilson for like Judkins and a receiver, or Rico Dowdle and a receiver, or Barkley and a receiver? I think I'd explore that. I would use Garrett Wilson. You can't trade him for anything straight up. No one wants him. You throw him in with Kyron, who's doing well, and you buy a Judkins, a Barkley, or a Rico that's playing kind of suspect. Then you can include another receiver to compensate for Garrett Wilson. That would be my most ideal approach for you to get out of this situation, and it's very, very effective. Would you drop JD5 for Burrow? I think I just would want both of them if I'm in a situation where I need. If you had to choose, I guess I would go Burrow if I had to pick. I have Allen and May, although they seem like they're going to come back around the same time, roughly. So I don't know. I guess I'd rather have Burrow in a vacuum. I have Allen and May trade target for May. Adams. Check his health. JJ. I think you can get JJ if you added a little something. Probably not straight up. Buka's off the table now. May for Pickens is maybe not enough. Rice you could try. Running backs, I like Rico. I like Jacobs. I think May can get some of those players. It depends how desperate the person is at quarterback. But you might have to throw in a little more to get those upgrades. I'm not just going to do it 1-for-1, Nostradamus. If I could get something by just adding something, make it a 2-for-1, then it makes a lot more sense. Rock Out with the super chat says 3 8-2 teams, 1 6-4 team, 2 5-5 teams. Rock Out, thank you for the super chat, you monster, you. DVO again says May, running back, Achan, Hendy, K9, JCM, Harvey, Buka, Hunter, Pitts, last at the moment, 4 and 6 PPR. Do I sell any players to get a consistent running back 2 or tight end? I would definitely get rid of K9, JCM, if you can even trade JCM. Sutton and K9 for one player, bro. K9, honestly, I'd trust in Hendy and Achane if I've got to take a swing. And look, you got to swing, right? So K9 and K9 for Pickens, K9 and Sutton for... You try for Rice, you try for JJ, you try for Adams, you monitor Adams' injury. You could go K9 and Sutton for Rico. You could go K9 and Sutton for Judkins. You could go K9 and Sutton for Barkley. You could go K9 for Henry and then trade Sutton for something like Pickens if you throw in something else small and make 2 trades out of it. I think 1 or 2 trades, you could transform the entire team just doing it like that. Thank you, pal. Appreciate you. $10 super chat. Appreciate you, my guy. Traded Tyler Warren for Hall because scat injury. I'm fine with that. But now Hendy is here. Nix, Achane, Hall, Hendy, Hampton, Nico, and Hampton will be back. Nico, Ted, J-Mo, Addison, Pitts. Trades. Don't want to have to sit a running back when Hampton's back. So let's try and move. Let's try and move Hall on the high because I think his situation sucks in some ways, and so I'd like to sell high. Not that he can't continue, but I believe you can trade Hall for JJ right now, and JJ's got his own problems, but that's why you can get him. JJ for Hall for Rice, Hall for JJ, Hall for Buka. Probably won't get that. If you got Hall for Rico, I know you don't want to sit somebody, but if you could get like Rico and Pickens, I kind of like that more than Hall. And then you just say, hey, you don't want to sit somebody, but bro, I don't know. You look at something like that, even if you don't want to go that direction, if it's there, sitting right in front of you, staring you in the face. Yeah, but try the first idea. Kamara or Monty rest of season, probably Monty. I think Kamara, trust your gut, Mac, if you like the matchups for Kamara, but I think Kamara could fall off like Mixon did last year. 6 and 4, 10-team PPR, May, Bucky, Rashad, Manungai, Lamb, Rice, Igbuka, Bowers, Kittle, Harvey, K9, Dobbs, Debo. What running back should I get? Someone offered Hendy for a tight end. I'd definitely take Hendy. I'd take Hendy. I'd take Rico. I'd take Barkley. I'd take Jacobs. I'd take Judkins. Those are my favorite running back buy lows this week. And I think if you were to maybe move Kittle, keep Bowers, trust in Bowers. You got to trust in Bowers. Kittle for one of those running backs seems perfect. For Kittle for Hendy, I'd take that too. I'd do any of those, but I do like Rico. I do like Judkins. I do like those other running backs that just went through. All for that Kittle move, definitely. And if you got to throw something small to get one of those guys, it's a little bit bigger, stronger, faster, do it. 7-3, Hurts, Stafford, Bijan, Cook, AJB, Pickens, Flowers, Pittman. Should I hold AJB or trade him? I mean, didn't you just hear me, DeVar, say I want nothing to do with him? I want nothing to do with him, meaning trade him, DeVar. Trade him. Get rid of him. You might have put the super chat in when I'd already said that, but I'm just saying that for point of emphasis, I want nothing to do with him, but who's going to take him? AJB. Your only shot is to try and do some weird straight up AJB for a struggling player like Judkins, Rico. I don't know. I don't know. I don't know what else you could do. Spears and AJB for one player. Try that. Spears is a running back that could get some interest, gain some interest from people. I don't think you'll get Rice. I don't think you get JJ, but you try, okay? AJB has some weight sometimes with people, and so other times people they aren't looking to buy low. They're looking to get out. Pickens straight up. Rico straight up. Add a little something Rico. Add a little something Judkins. DeVar, that's my interest. Man, Herb, Caleb, Monra, London, MHJ, AJB, Pierce, Judkins, Javante, Bucky, Benson, Manungai. Need running backs. Trade my Judkins and Amon-Ra for his Achane and Tez. I don't think so. Amon-Ra, I like Achane more than Amon-Ra, but is it that far apart to then say, let's go Judkins to Tez? I'm going to say Judkins and Amon-Ra. I still believe in Judkins quite a bit. So if it's me, I like what you got here, but I think it's not the right move. I think if I'm going to trade, try and upgrade from Tez. Can you get anybody else? I definitely think that this is a little too much. Chat, do you agree or disagree? I know we love him, Achan. I know we do, but is Tez going to be consistent? I hope he is, but I don't know that he will. I don't think we're... See if you can... What other players does he have? And if I'm trading AJB for down to Rice or down to... down to JJ, maybe that running back would be a stronger fit. Like you get two players, JJ and a running back. I don't know. I'd like you to go down this road, but can you get a better player than Tez? That would be my only thought. And this $50 hauler, James dropped 20 gifted memberships, by the way.
You've just been Smitty.
James, appreciate you. Had Lamb and Rice on a bye, subbed Tez Johnson and Parker Washington, and Gibbs and Achan are my running backs. This week was a fun one. Thanks for all you do, Smitty. Great insight, and you make the season that much more enjoyable. Cheers, and on to next week. James, thank you for the gifted memberships, the amazing $50 super chat. What a fantastic monster, and this is the...
$50. Give me $50, holla.
James to the mother freaking moon. James, selfless, amazing monster that you are. Steven, 0-5, now 5-5. I love to see these turnarounds. Dart, Monty, Swift, Rashad, Banungai, Chase, Jamar Chase, London, Ladd, Adunze, Addison fan, and I want it. What do I trade for? I think I just trade. You got Swift and Manungai. You almost could ride that as one of your solid, consistent running back pieces. And Monty's not bad. This is kind of a wild team. I don't know. I guess I would maybe trade London on the high. And can you get a Rice and something? Because Rice didn't explode the last week. Can you get like a Dunze and Rico? Go to the Jacobs, Rico, Barkley, Henry if the receiver's just right. Judkins, I said, go to those owners and see what wide receiver you can get. I would contemplate getting a massive wide receiver if you could throw Olave in. London Olave for, like, let's say they have a surplus at RB, Rico and an elite wide receiver. I think your best bet is to try and turn London and something into a 2-player upgrade running back and get a receiver like last week we were talking about Nico, downgrade St. Brown to Nico, downgrade this guy to Nico, downgrade even in some cases there's JSN. You couldn't win with JSN. No one should trade JSN unless you're losing with JSN. If you're losing with JSN, you should be no meatloaf for you. Your mom's embarrassed of you. It's disrespectful to own JSN if you're losing with them. So if you're 4 wins, 3 wins with JSN, guess what? You should send him away because it's not fair to him. So you send him away, downgrade to Nico, and then get that running back additional second player. So what can we do with London? Explore all those top potential 7, 8 wide receivers. See which one fits the bill as being deemed lower than London. And then what running backs can we add in, Steven? That's where I would take that team. Appreciate your super chat. Atticus, appreciate you dropping that one. And then the fantasy, you had the let's see here. You could also do London and Judkins for his Achan and Tez. London and Judkins for his Achan and what was the other trade? London, Achan. I might do this one. Guys, are we taking Achan and Tez? I kind of like Tez. I think Tez could be kind of consistent. Achan and Tez for London and Judkins. I still think it's close, but I think that London could be up and down. He's one of those guys we love one week, and then everybody wants to get rid of him the other week. Can I get a vote on this one? Let me get a vote on this one. I missed your super chat. Probably not, bro. You're probably just in line. I think I see yours coming up next, but I haven't missed anybody's super chat. There's a little bit of a line, my boy. London side, Achan side. That's close. London side. Seems like the chat likes the London side. Atticus, I'm 5-5 with Hurts, JJ, Ibuka, Bucky, Kyron, Manungai. Lost craft for the year. Any tips on how to get better? I hate JJ McCarthy, he says. I mean, trading Bucky for Rico, trading Bucky for Jacobs, trading Bucky for Barkley, getting out of the Bucky game is probably the best move for you. You know, go see what the Swift owner has. Maybe they have a running back that can send if you send him a nun guy, make him sleep better at night. Don't think I move Hurts for the right price, like down to Mahomes. That seems like a downgrade to that person. Down to May. If I could then turn, you know, let's say Bucky into a safer running back that's playing right now. If I could turn everything else I like. I think that's the only thing I'm looking at. Downgrade Hurts to upgrade something. Even if it was upgrading Kyron to Bijan. Try that. Kyron and Hurts for Bijan and their quarterback. Or if you've got another quarterback you could throw in like Dart or whatever, then maybe you get another wide receiver or starter. But I'd contemplate going after the darn Bijan owner, bro. That would be a really, really good move. Jesse C, here's your super chat. Mahomes, Jacobs, Etienne, Hendy, Vidal, Benson, Tootin, Rice, London, Wilson. Crying emoji. Coleman, Judy, Fannin, and Joku. What moves to offload, upgrade Wilson? Again, Wilson gets you 0. Nobody wants him in a 1-for-1. But if you couple him with Benson, maybe you can get somebody that's like Wilson, but playing. Dunze, check. Adams, check. Pickens, maybe. Would I trade Garrett Wilson for Pickens straight up? Sure. And then use Benson in another piece? Yeah. Would I trade ETN and Garrett Wilson for just one damn player? Yes, I would. Rice in London, I'm kind of fine going rogue as your third wide receiver and using the ETN and Garrett Wilson to go get Rico, to go get, you got Jacobs already, to go get Barkley, to go get Judkins. Try Bijan, bro. Maybe Jacobs and Garrett Wilson and mother freaking Vidal, or ETN, Jacobs and Garrett Wilson for Bijan in like a Tez. Or there's waiver wire guys that you're like, look, I just got to look at it from this perspective. I'm picking up these 2 waiver wire guys like Tez or whatever the case may be, and I like this Bijan, all these for Bijan. People are panicking on Bijan. They're absolutely panicking on Bijan. It's quite wild. Last Gibbs question, would you take Saquon plus Pickens for... Absolutely not, bro. No. If I keep Gibbs, would be offering Chase Brown for JJ. I'd take JJ for Chase Brown if you need a wide receiver. I'm fine with that. I'm fine with either side. I'm not saying JJ outscores Chase Brown or Chase Brown outscores JJ, but I'm completely fine with that move. Don't trade Gibbs. He's your saving grace, bro. He's fantastic. If you trade Gibbs, you literally need to get St. Brown and like Rico might not even be enough, bro. So there's really no deal that people are probably going to accept. Gibbs and Judkins and Mahomes and Jamar Chase and JJ. This is a marvelous team. Don't trade out of that. Don't get out of the tripod, the quad pod. It's bigger than that. This thing's a what do you call it? A quintuplet pod. Like, what are you doing, bro? Gibbs, Judkins, Jamar Chase, JJ, Mahomes. Don't. Harvey might get in there and make it a singtuplet. Whatever. What are we doing, bro? Age 13, you're trying to break up with your team before it breaks up with you. Just trust it. Trust the process, my boy. Behold, appreciate you. 12-man, 0.5, 5 and 5. I have Josh Allen, Jacobs, Judkins, Hendy, Harvey. Love the running back stable. Aaron Jones. I'd trade Aaron Jones on the high if you can. Vidal on the high if you can. Rashad White on the high if it's even called that. Ted on the high if it's even called that. Yeah, so I'd probably say let's keep JJ, keep Warren. We're trading combinations of Tet and White, Tet and Vidal, Aaron Jones. Probably keep Jacobs, but I wouldn't be opposed to going like Ted and Jacobs for one monster. Like, if you could get Bijan for that, I don't think you can. But I'm just telling you this, that people have asked me, should I trade Bijan for Jacobs in like some scrub? You know, Smitty, should I trade Jacobs for, you know, Devontae Adams? Not that I don't love Devontae Adams, but they don't understand. I'm sorry, Bijan for Devontae Adams. They don't understand that Bijan's fine, like to a degree. So try. And if not, what I'm kind of leaning toward, and you could, honestly, you could lean on Judkins and Hendy and Harvey and even Vidal. And you could trade Jacobs and Tet for that one running back upgrade. I'm actually really fine with that. If you can't first pull off Vidal or Aaron Jones or Rashad White with Tet for one player, throw in Terry McLaurin if you have to, for just that Barkley, that Judkins, that type of player. Coble, appreciate you. Coble, we haven't seen you in a while. I mean, you might be here, but I appreciate your super chat. Packers fan here. It's legit time for Matt LaFlop to be on the hot seat. Like the guy, but play calling has been awful. A-Rod propped him up early on. Yeah, they're definitely a paper tiger team right now. They really are. I remember everyone was saying Super Bowl and can't get you ahead of your skis just with the midseason record or a couple wins. I have Lamb, Rice, London, Pickens, Broom, Ibuka. If you can't start all those guys, I would definitely move probably London on the high. I'm not moving Rice. I'm not moving Lamb. I'm not moving Buka. And London is going to be volatile, more volatile than those guys. So let's move London. Keep Rico, keep Hendy. London for Judkins and Harvey. London for Genty and Judkins, and you throw something small back. Maybe you give him Dobbins because he's got Harvey. So you go London for Judkins and Genty. But I would take Judkins and Harvey. I think. Greg, I love what you got though, Greg. You're looking pretty strong there. Smitty, you've been helping me win championships for 3 years. I appreciate your hard work. Thank you, Gone Rogue. Appreciate your support, my boy. $4.99 from H13 again. 12-team PPR 8-2. Sending Rashad for JMO paid off. Yes, it did, didn't it? Yes, it did, didn't it?
You've just been.
You know how many people at halftime were like, Smitty, JMO sucks. This is bum advice. And then JMO dropped loads, got the meatloaf. Don't judge a book by its 2-quarter cover. Judge it by a full game. JMO did well. Saquon, Kyron, Monty, Tank, Tootin, Rice, QJ, JMO. Let's move QJ, Quentin Johnston. Let's move Quentin Johnston and Monty or Quentin Johnston. And even honestly, like if Quentin Johnston could upgrade Saquon or Kyron slightly, I'm definitely exploring that. I don't know that I'm moving Quan or Kyron or Rice or JMO. So there's not a lot of movability here. Would I take McBride and downgrade him to Warren to then upgrade QJ into a slightly better receiver, or upgrade QJ and Kyron or QJ and Monty with McBride down to Warren to get that one extra player with Tyler Warren? So explore that. H13, that would be where I would take this team immediately. Lamar, Gibbs, Chase Brown, London, Puka, Warren, Gadsden, Harvey, Monangai, QJ, Shaheed, Swift, White, Wilson, Benson. I feel like I question who to flex each week in these suggestions. So Lamar, Gibbs, Chase Brown, London, Puka, is that Tyler Warren? Because you just put Warren, and it's kind of like you got receivers and running backs all mixed together. So you got to be clear about what Warren it is, what Williams you're talking about. There's so many. I would assume. I don't know. I don't know what to assume because you got it all mixed around. You got QJ and Monangai. I don't know if this is. I assume it's Quentin Johnson because QJ is Quentin Johnson. Quinshon Judkins is not QJ. But I think you need to clarify this question, Gaming. There's too many unknowns here. You got QJ in the middle, but they're not with the running backs grouped together. You got Warren without anything. He's right next to Gadsden too, so it's hard to say. Is that Jalen Warren? It'd be the first running back you list after. Let's see. I'm kind of thinking like maybe this is your starters. So Lamar, Gibbs, Chase Brown, London, Puka, Tyler Warren, then bench. That's what I'm going to gather. So I'm going to guess that's it. I'm sorry, I don't have any other information. I've been looking at the chat. I don't see it, so I'm just going to roll with it because I got to move on. But I'd say thank you for the super chat, first of all. But I'm thinking that's Tyler Warren. I would have traded Gadsden or Warren already because you had a surplus there. Now Gadsden's injured, but I think some people still would maybe buy him. I would trade Swift and Garrett Wilson, Benson and Swift, Benson and Garrett Wilson and Swift, Rashad White. I would trade all those guys for a Monangai, for a Rico Dowdle, who's apparently really cheap this week, surprisingly coming off a bad game. George Pickens, I love. Lad McConkey probably can't get any more. Running backs, I mean, Jacobs probably can't get after. If he would have had a bad game, you would have been able to get him. Chase Brown, I don't think anybody's going to trade him too low. You know, I always talk about Javonte in this kind of situation. QJ and Swift for Javonte or QJ. And you could say Swift is worth more than that, and that's fine. And actually, you know what? I'm going to talk myself into going higher. Judkins. Judkins or Rico using Swift and QJ should get it done. And I'm not saying Judkins is a different player. So go get Judkins using QJ and Swift. Go get Barkley maybe. And if you can't do that, I wonder if you could trade Swift for Bucky and wait on him. You'd be a perfect candidate to potentially do that. Final trade offer, my Amon-Ra plus Judkins for his Bijan. Chat, can we please vote on this? Amon-Ra and Amon-Ra and Judkins for Bijan. Please vote on this final vote. 10 votes at least in the chat, please. Let's help our boy out. I think I'm going to lean... I don't know. I think Amon-Ra is close enough to Bijan that it's just I want to have the running back, and I'm not like doubting Judkins like everybody else. It looks like Amon-Ra is winning the vote, bro. Amon-Ra side. I just don't think you're going to get a lot of people that want to give up that amount of talent. I love Bijan, bro. I love him. AJB and Spears for Chase Brown or Hall or Judkins, 100%. I'd do any one of those in order of probably Chase Brown, Hall, Judkins right now in that order. But Judkins is close. He really is. And I think it could be a blessing in disguise if that's what you get. Improved to 6-4. Flacco, Caleb Burrow, IR. Running back, CMC, Cook, Hendy, Woody. Nice team. Rico Adams. I like the team. Gadsden, any advice? Pretty good, bro. Pretty good. The only thing you're on the lookout for is can you trade Christian McCaffrey before injury may or may not strike for a deal of a lifetime, or you don't deal at all. Meaning Bijan is lower than McCaffrey in value right now. You could get Bijan. You know, get Bijan and something. You can do even a 2-for-2. Bijan and, I don't know, maybe a quarterback upgrade. Maybe you get Bijan and potentially a Diggs upgrade. But I would definitely explore the Bijan side of things right now with the way that Bijan's getting ranked. Mahomes versus Denver or May versus the Jets. I can't sit Mahomes. I love Drake May. Drake May is fantastic, but I cannot sit Patrick Mahomes when he's playing. 6-4 PPR, 10-man, rate my roster. Love Dart, Burrow, IR, Chase Brown, Gibbs, Hendy, Harvey, AJ Brown, Rice, Jamo, Buka, Debo. It's a good team. Very good team. Buka, I don't trade, right? I wish you'd list these in order. Why are you guys not listing them in order? It's driving me nuts. It's absolutely driving me nuts. A.J. Brown's your first listed wide receiver over Rice and Buka. The disrespect, big homie, to your own team. This is like that Seinfeld episode when Jerry's mechanic can't stand how Jerry's treating his car. So he gets in the car and starts driving. He doesn't stop. And he calls him from the car phone and says, Jerry, I've got the car. And this car is getting disrespected for the last time, and he just keeps driving. And Jerry says, "Bring my car back," and the mechanic takes it. Like I feel like taking your team. The disrespect. So I would say Rice, Buka, don't touch. AJB, we're trading. Debo, we're trading. Tyler Warren, we're not trading. Gibbs, we're not trading, and I probably, yeah, God, this is a good team. I'd probably say trade Debo and AJB for like one player if you can, and if that doesn't work, I would trade Chase Brown and AJB for one big monster running back. I'm not afraid to go get Rico and a player. I'm not afraid to just try for Bijan, Chase Brown and AJ Brown for Bijan. I've seen dumber trades happen. AJB for Pickens straight up. AJB for Dowdle straight up, and then just work another trade or something like that, or have a surplus and then trade Chase Brown for a wide receiver. Like, there's certainly a way to do more than one trade and just take the value where you can get it. Asked you week 5 if I should trade my Bowers for BYJ. You said hell no. I took over first place for the first time this year and just wanted to say thank you. Glad I held Bowers. You're talking about BTJ? Yeah, I'm so glad I told you that. I was reading this wondering where it was going to go, Justin. Asked you in week 5, you SOB, if I should trade Bowers for BTJ. And you said, hell no. I love it.
You've just been Smitty.
You dirty rat. Thank you. Appreciate you, my boy. I'm so glad that story ended well. Mahomes, Burrow, Dimes, Achane, K9, Corum, Jamar Chase, Amon-Ra, Sutton, Tyler Warren, Fannin, Washington, Crafty moves, running back 2. Let's go with someone needs a QB. You could explore the Burrow, Dimes thing. People are excited about Burrow today. Can't believe people dropped him. Achane, K9, Corum. So I'm keeping Achane and keeping Mahomes. I'm trading K9 and I'm keeping Jamar. I'm keeping Amon-Ra. K9 and Sutton for one player. Rico. K9 and Sutton for Adams injured right now. K9 and Sutton, there's risk, but K9 and Sutton for, man, I kind of feel like going after Bucky, bro. I feel like going after Bucky, and I know that would put you a wide receiver, whatever. You got Washington, like, figure it out. Go rogue at the wide receiver 3. I'm gonna go get Bucky for K9 and Sutton, I think. I'm gonna go get Genty on the cheap. I'm going to get Judkins. I'm going to get Barkley. Alec, appreciate you, my boy. I'm in a vote to veto league. What? I'm in a vote to veto league. My Chase Brown plus Brees for Bijan got vetoed. I'm sad. Chase Brown plus Brees for Bijan. Well, how does that get vetoed? It's corruption, bro. Don't play in a league like that. It's corruption to veto something, because I guarantee you, if they're worried about you or whatever team that was getting the side that I don't even know what side they like more. Chase Brown and Brees is fantastic. Bijan is doubted. Like, I don't even know what side they're vetoing. I assume they think the Bijan side's crushing. But, like, how corrupt is it if you did it the other way, they let it go? They'd be like, do you see what he did? Because they're scared of you. So if they won't veto a trade on both sides, no matter which way it went, that's corruption. Was it veto worthy? No, because I don't even know what side they're vetoing. That's how close it is. You tell them I said that. James Cook was trying to get Bijan with Cook. I'm 4-6. Jeez, bro. Mickey Mouse commissioner you got going there. Mickey Mouse commissioner. Hello. Let's veto the trade. Let's call the veto doodle. Vidal and Manungai for Hall. Give me Hall all day. And I like Manungai, but you got to take that. 10-man dynasty QBs. Allen May. Is it super flex? No. Gibbs, Genty, Bucky. Okay, I like that. I mean, it's dynasty, bro. That's great. Bucky, Hendy, Gibbs, Genty. I mean, damn. London, Buka, Pickens, Hunter. What are we doing here? Gadsden, Tyler Warren. Not the entire team moves. I don't know. The veto doodle. Let's call the veto doodle. How many votes can we get? Ridiculous. I don't know, bro. This Racing Boy, I'm going to be honest. What can you really do with this team? If it's a 1 QB, you try and trade Drake May or JD5. I think that's the only place to stand on business about. And then, do you try and get out of Genty for an upgrade if you can? Like Bijan's probably the most vulnerable he'll ever be in Dynasty. I'm not saying he's the same discount seller dweller pricing like in redraft, but let's try and get him. Let's throw Genty at it. Let's throw May or JD5 at it. Let's throw another wide receiver into the mix. Maybe throw Hunter in. Maybe throw Gadsden in. Throw whatever you got. You got surplus galore. I would say my focal point would be getting Bijan. And maybe that owner wouldn't trade him, but I don't know. That's kind of where I'd take it. And then, I don't know. After that, I like buying Judkins low. I like buying, not necessarily with Genty, but I don't know. I like Genty long term. I do. I think I wouldn't get rid of him lightly, but start Knicks versus KC or Caleb versus Minnesota. I'm not starting Caleb versus Minnesota. I'd rather start Knicks. Because you're a Chiefs fan. Well, you can't let that influence you, though. Knicks versus KC. Like, I don't know. Chat, vote. Caleb versus the Minnesota Vikings, who pretty much are going to get in their bag against Caleb. Remember last time they played, Caleb was awful. He was good for first drive, and then they got in their bag on this, and it was a rough outing. I'm a Chiefs fan, so yeah, I don't know. I'm biased opinion to start Bo Nix, but chat, vote Bo Nix against KC or Caleb versus Minnesota. Vote for our boy Husseini, who needs our desperate help. Should I trade my Tyler Warren and Adunze for Bowers? I think it's pretty close. It's really, really close. I'd probably rather have Tyler Warren and Adunze, and I love Bowers. But your receivers are Rice, Diggs, T-Mac. Yeah, you could use Adunze. But trust your gut, because this really is close. And 1 week, you're going to wish you did it. 1 week, you're going to wish you're not. Because Bowers is going to be volatile. So he's not going to be ultra consistent. But I think people will regret trading him or trading for him and then trading him. And therefore, like, he's going to be up and down. Kind of like London, unfortunately. Traded A.J. Brown for Rico before kickoff. Excellent trade, bro. That guy's probably so pissed, bro.
You've just been Smitty approved.
Got him.
You got him bad, bro. You got him bad.
Got him.
That's a super flex, by the way. Sorry, I thought it was, and now I gotta go find it again, Racing Boy. All right, I'll go find it in a minute. Try and post it in the question again if you can. I don't know if you could have fit it in that one actually, but Smitty, help me maneuver a trade before the deadline. 5-5, 10-man stacked league, one QB, Baker, Herbs, Bijan, Barkley, 2 wide receiver, Lamb, Rice. Okay, so Bijan, Barkley, Lamb, Rice, not touching Lamb, Rice, not touching Lamb, Rice, Buka. Bowers, not touching that. Genty versus Dallas over who? I got Hendy, Woody, Monungai. Hold. Bijan, Barkley. You mean you can't upgrade your receivers, really? I mean, try and get Mahomes or Josh Allen or Lamar. So if that means you give up Barkley to do that, or you give up Genty to do that, I probably would. And you got Hendy too, so like it makes sense, man. I mean, that's what I'm doing, Ricky. I'm trading to get that quarterback upgrade in. Look, Lamar didn't explode. Josh Allen's been struggling. Mahomes was on a bye in his last game before that was struggling. You know? So I don't think you're gonna have that big of a struggle. Super flex, you said, Racing Boy. Allen May, okay. Well, it's still, I don't think my advice changes. I think my advice gets better. Because you just keep one of these QBs. Now, granted, May's going to be more attractive right now, but it's Dynasty. Maybe JD5 and Dynasty is still going to have tons of value. And I still believe in JD5 and Dynasty, but I'd rather have May probably. So try and trade JD5. JD5 and Genty for Bijan. And if you got to throw in a Hunter, a Gadsden, I'd do it. I put it all on the table for Bijan. And honestly, Genty alone should get like a look, you know. I think you could do it, bro. And if not, I don't know what other player makes sense. You know, one of those quarterbacks for Judkins or one of those quarterbacks. And I preferably, actually, you know, strike that. JD5 only. Keep May. JD5 only for Judkins. JD5 only for... BTJ, just kidding. That sucks, man. That sucks, doesn't it? We joke about that now. If I would have gotten if I got a time machine and went back in time and then sat there without the knowledge that we have right now, just moved myself back. Well, actually, if I went back in a time machine and told myself, you're going to joke around about cutting BTJ. You're going to joke around about how you wouldn't trade JMO in Dynasty for BTJ. And I'm going to go, what? Only whiny AJ Brown would trade Rico for AJB. I know. Can't believe that. Nice job, bro. Dynasty 12 team Superflex 10 man trade my Knicks London third for Allen. Yes, bro. Let me put it this way: I would trade Knicks, London, and 10 third rounders for Allen. So that's going to be an affirmative, young man, and that's going to be one of these.
You've just been Smitty.
Got him.
And these. Bro's out there just stealing players away from his friends, ending friendships with every move. Ending friendships with every move. AJB couldn't get me 5 points. Of course he couldn't. I'm 4-6. I'm cooked. I'm sorry, John. AJB. Look, we had a lot of trade AJB videos. I'm not gonna sit here and try and pour salt in the wound, but no one should have drafted AJB for sure. I told you that. Over and over. I miss some don't draft players too. I'm not trying to say I'm perfect. I mean, I haven't eaten my meatloaf every single week. Or my Wheaties, but need a running back too. Trade Allen for either Flacco or Goff. Trade Allen who? Keenan Allen? I mean, Allen, you got to be clear, man. I don't know what you're talking about. You know how many Allens there are? Clarify that for me. I mean, you guys think I'm a mind reader sometimes. I want to make sure we're not talking about Josh Allen, and I gotta hit that button. 12-man, 6-4, Stafford, JD5, Achane, Judkins, Sharps, Benson, Tootin, Waddle, Pickens, BTJ, Hunter, Debo, McBride, Gadsden, Godson. Any trades and thoughts? Achane, Judkins, not touching that. I'd trade like Benson or Sharps on the high, with maybe a Waddle on the high to get just a little safer wide receiver. You know, Josh Allen. Bro. Trade Allen for either Flacco or Goff and Rome. Allen, what are we talking about, bro? What are we talking? Josh Allen for Flacco or Goff with Rome? What are we doing, bro? No. Let me read the rest of your question. I'm sorry. You got me all off kilter here. What are we doing back there, bro? What are we doing back there? This is like you took Ma's meatloaf and just threw it right on the floor, right in front of her. This is so disrespectful to Josh Allen. Why in the hell will we trade Josh Allen for this? I'd try to flip him for a running back. Also, I have Dart. Trade Dart. Trade Dart and Rome for one player. Trade Dart for Rico. Trade Dart and... Oh, you don't have Rome yet. Trade Dart and somebody for Rico Dowdle. Thank you for the super chat. I'm a little baffled right now. I mean... Josh Allen, why are we throwing Josh Allen away like he's like a trash bag? Should I trade Josh Allen for a bowl of meatloaf, Smitty, or a bowl of oatmeal? Allen, you know you're my boy. I'm not mad at you. I'm just shocked. I can't hide it. I can't look at you right now. Jamar and Etienne for London, Judkins, Menengai, Caleb. Jamar, Etienne. This is an interesting deal, but I'm going to say I trust Etienne's delivering right now. I want Tootin somehow, some way, but I would say Jamar and Etienne, if Etienne continues to do well, it's just the better side of this trade. And I don't know your quarterback situation. That would weigh into it a little bit, but I'm going to take Jamar and Etienne. But I do like the other side. It's pretty close. If you did it, I wouldn't make you take a lap or anything. Trade offer Marks for Ted McMillan. Pretty even. If you need a running back, I like the Mark side. You need a receiver, I like the Tet side. So this is built perfectly to do if you want to and if it helps your position. So you don't even need to reply with what you have. If you think it helps your wide receiver, then I take Tet. If you think it helps your running back, I'd take it's even. Take Marks. Jamar and ETN for London, Judkins, Monangai. Guys, can you vote on this one? Where's my boy John? Is John okay? John says, Smitty, even though your advice hasn't been the absolute best for me. Oh, John, I can't help what what part of my advice you apply and what part you don't. Like, no offense, but take some accountability in that statement. I haven't read the rest of it yet, but you got to understand, some of it's going to hit, some of it's going to miss, and you happen to decide to pick the missing parts. I mean, I can't. I am grateful for your efforts and your channel. Make this season more fun. I appreciate that, John. I guess. It's kind of like a batter. He's up to bat and he's gonna hit 5 or 6 out of 10 home runs and then get let's say he hits 5.5 home runs per 10 swings, but he strikes out the other 4 and some change. And then you're betting on every time he swings. And John's taking all the strikes. And then it's like, I get it, John. I know you can't. I don't know. Smitty, be like, get Bucky, then you should traded Bucky 3 weeks ago. I don't think you understand what time it is, because I've been so clear about this, but you clearly don't know. I think this is what he's saying. Smitty, be like, get Bucky, then you should trade Bucky 3 weeks ago. I don't think you understand. I don't think you're listening or paying attention, because I've been so clear on Bucky. I have been so crystal clear on Bucky, it's not even funny. If you listen to my Bucky advice, you'd be in a good spot. I still don't think you're listening to my Bucky advice right now, because by the looks of your message, you're confused still. Traded Bijan, J-Mo, and Jawan for Barkley and Bowers. I think this is pretty even. I lean toward Bijan, J-Mo, and Jawan. I like Barkley and Bowers a lot, but I still very, very much love Bijan. And I'm not discounting him at all. At all. Love the show. I think you may have missed my super chat, says Dub. Dub, I'll look for it right now. Hang tight. Yeah, I was thinking about trying to go grab Bijan, Gibbs, Hendy, running back core would be insane. That's what I would try, bro. Trade Brees and Rome for Jamar and Bucky. I would take Jamar and Bucky for sure. Unless I've got like 2 wins. But even then, it's like I feel like I try to figure it out. 10-man PPR. I'm 6-4. Stand down or wait. Bucky or try for a running back. 6-4 teams can wait. There's still risk in waiting, though. I can't control that he has a setback or something. He still hasn't taken a hit, and so we don't fully know if his shoulder will hold up. So there's maybe a 10, 20, maybe even 25% chance that he takes a hit, and then they've got to, unfortunately, sit him and have surgery. So, Matt, I'll look for your super chat now as well. Thank you. Appreciate you. Wide receivers are Lamb, Rice, Nico. Don't touch Buka. As long as you can start all 4 of those receivers, don't trade them. Lamb, Rice, Nico, Buka. Don't trade a single one of those receivers if you can start all 4. If you can't start all 4, I'm probably moving Nico and, let's say, Bucky for 2 players, and just that I like the 2 players. So Rico and somebody, Judkins and somebody, Bijan. Let's try and get Bijan. Can you move? First of all, try to move Bucky. Oh, you got Rico. I would move Bucky, even Charbonnet and Sutton. I'd try for Bijan. Just see what you can get. If you can't do that, I think you are a team that's a good candidate to move Bucky. even though you're 6-4, I would look to move Sutton and Bucky for one running back. And Judkins comes to mind. I also think that you could potentially look to get, Barkley's interesting, but I don't know. I like Bucky at the same time for your squad. And you got Hendy to fill in. I would look to go get Bijan somehow. Nico and Bucky for Bijan and another player. Just don't do it 2 for 1. Do it 2 for 2. Try that. If not, I'm kind of interested in waiting on Bucky with your team. You're 6-4. Hendy steps up. Your team looks phenomenal. Sharps is even really good right now. Your receivers are through the roof. But Sutton and Bucky for one player, I'm exploring that. Even if I don't get Bijan, I'm exploring it. And maybe you're getting... Barkley's interesting. Judkins is interesting. I'd explore Barkley, Judkins, James Cook. He had kind of a bad game. Maybe you get James Cook for Bucky and Sutton. If not, try Nico and Bucky for Bijan and somebody. That's going to be my advice. All right, let me see if I can find Dub's email and then Matt, I think. Our email, super chat. Dub said this. May, Nix, JT, ETN, Jamar, Chase, Lamb, Chops, Pickens, JMO, Downs, Hopkins. I'm sorry if I missed this. Trade advice before the deadline. Did I? I feel like I remember reading that. I don't touch Chase and Lamb. I don't touch JT. I don't touch Drake May. This looks like it's a 1 QB. I don't know that Nix has much trade value, but you look at the teams that are QB needy and you just see what you can do. I like this team a lot. Henry and ETN for one monster. I'm trying to get Bijan next to JT. Henry and ETN and JMO for Bijan. Henry, ETN, Hopkins. I haven't seen Hopkins in a roster since the 80s. Since the 90s, at least. Early 90s. What are we doing with Hopkins on the roster? This is unbelievable to see a team like this with Hopkins. 10-man league, you got Hopkins on your team? This team's awesome, too. What is Hopkins doing on this squad? Is that the kicker? What are we doing back there? Musgrave. Yeah, let's try and get Bijan. Henry, ETN, and JMO. Henry, ETN, and Pickens. Can we do it? That's what I'm focusing on, Dub. Past that, I don't know. Maybe ETN and Pickens for JJ and something. For Rice. Maybe you get Rice and something. And then Matt with a super chat. Matt said I missed a super chat. Matty boy. Brees and Ferguson for Bucky. Yeah, I did not miss that, Matty boy. Matt, you must have went to the potty. Because I did. I absolutely read this one. But that's okay. I'd rather have Brees at 5-5 is what I said to you. And if you were 6 wins, it'd be different. But I think 5, we're pushing it. And while I like Bucky a lot, we still don't for sure know if he's coming back next week or even the next week. So you got to take the Brees situation and run. Or hold. If you were a different record. So trade Ferguson is something else. You figure it out. Figure out a different move. You can't do that, bro. Brees Hall. He's 8 feet tall anyway. Would only be down to Bijan, Algier, Warren after trade with AJB, Debo, Dobbs, and JMO. Rockout, I don't know what this is referring to. Would only be down to Bijan, Algier, Warren after trade with wide receiver AJB, Debo, Dobbs, JMO. Yeah, I mean, I guess you roll with Warren. Warren's pretty appealing right now. I'm fine with Warren in the wide receiver spot. I don't know if that has anything to do with another chat, but I obviously wouldn't remember another question. But looks pretty good. I mean, that team's definitely one that's going to skate by. I've seen teams like that win a Super Bowl, though. It's one game at a time, baby. 5-5, you just got to get in the playoffs and win one game at a time. 5-5 trades: Herbert, Gibbs, Harvey, Sharps, London, Garrett Wilson, Parker, Tez, Bowers, Fannin, Burrow, Travis Hunter. Unfortunately, man, you like I almost say this team can't win, but can Gibbs, London, and Bowers, that trio, win? It's going to be hard pressed because you're going to have to. I mean, can you win any game? Yes. Can you win 3 consecutive playoff games? Probably not. So unfortunately for you, my friend, I'm trading London down to a wide receiver of the, you try to get Rice, probably don't. Of the Nico, probably don't get that either. You could have done this last week. London down to Nico and whatever, like something like that. James Cook would be amazing. London for James Cook and a Pickens type player. Trade London for 2 players. Rico and somebody. Pickens and somebody. Henry and somebody. I think you need 2 players. Look at the Super before, but that's what I'm saying. Try and put it in the question because otherwise I got to get out. Rock out, you keep watching this show. You know that's the deal. I'll have to pull it up after I get out of this screen. That's why I'm saying, because if anybody sends a super chat and they say something relating to another super chat, you got to wait until I'm done all the super chats, and it's a big wait for you. So I'm just trying to help you not have to wait because I can't get out of the screen and go search for old super chats. I'll look in a minute, though. Regarding my 8-2 team with Saquon, you think offering McBride and QJ for Odunze and Warren would be a move? Offering McBride and Quentin Johnston for Odunze and Warren. I don't know. Did I say this earlier? Because I'm feeling like it looks a little different than I remember. Or on paper, it looks lesser than I thought. Or maybe this isn't something I said and you're trying to come up with. I don't know. But I'll say that Warren and Odunze looks a little... It looks good. Well, I don't know now. I mean, maybe McBride commands more. I think I like Warren, but I don't know. Chat, do you like Odunze and Warren or McBride and Quentin Johnston? I do think it's pretty even. I guess I'm just looking to lambaste him. And I'm not feeling like I'm lambasting. I don't know. Rock out. I'll get yours in 1 second, pal. Just hang tight while I get through all these because I can't really exit the screen. Chat, vote on this one. I think maybe you need something more. I don't know. It's close, though. Jamar and Etienne for London. Judkins. I think I already did that one, right? Jamar. Yeah, I said Jamar and Etienne. I kind of liked a little more. I think the chat might have agreed. McBride's side. Odunze. McBride side. We're getting a little bit of the McBride vote, I think, on that, bro. Keep up the great work, Smitty. Thank you, Alan. Appreciate you dropping the super, my boy. Alan to the moon. I bought the Gunner glasses at a boy. $10 holler. Which ones? I always miss it. Can you please type real quickly so I can see it? What Gunners did you get? You might have already told me, but I forget. Please tell me real quick so I can read it. Because otherwise, 5 minutes from now, I won't ever find the message. Was offer Pickens and Worthy for Ladd. Pickens and Worthy for Ladd. I don't know. Like, part of me is like, yeah, wait a minute. I mean, can we even use Worthy? I don't even know if we can use Worthy. Let me see if I can find Rockout's question real quick because that's the last super chat right now. And then I can pull Rockout's up. Rockout says would only be down to... There we go. All right, let me get to that in a second, Rock Out. What are we saying here? They're doing say Warren pretty easy, in my opinion, says Travis. Trade Bowers for London. It's pretty even, Joe. Trade CMC for Bucky? No. One league. Can I get a vote on this, please? I need at least 10 votes. Lamb. Or no, I'm sorry. Pickens and Worthy for Ladd. Pickens and Worthy for Ladd. Sickness, no. Bucky's not playing this week. But go watch the video. I break it down in tremendous detail. Ladd McConkey. I like Pickens, though. But, yeah, I agree with the chat. Ladd McConkey. By the way, they're the Barons. Oh, he says it in the damn super chat. He knows I'm gonna ask the question, what glasses did you buy? And he says it in the damn super chat. He's predicting these are telepathic glasses, I think. And I didn't even read the dumb question. It's sitting right in front of my face. They're the Barons. Thank you for telling me they're the Barons. They don't look like the Barons until now I know they're the Barons. Yes, the Baron glasses. Anybody wants to get a pair of these Gunner glasses, like we're wearing.
The Gunner Player of the Week.
Brought to you by Gunner.com.
Judkins didn't quite deliver the value we wanted for the Gunner Player of the Week, by the way. So we need a new Gunner Player of the Week if you guys want to vote on one. Gunner.com. All these are my assortment of Gunner.com glasses, by the way. Don't forget the core board as well. Code Smitty at stoicinnovations.com if you want to get a 10% discount on the core board. I'll have more news on the core board, too. There's exciting news coming on the core board. What are we doing here? So Ladd, thank you very much. Ladd McConkey. Ryan with a $10 super chat says May and Daniel Jones, Achane, Barkley, Henderson, Harvey, Pickens, Higgins, Keenan Allen, BTJ, Shaheed, Warren, full PPR 10-man. Who do I look for? Wide receiver, BTJ and Keenan Allen are. All right. I would say Barkley, Henderson, Harvey, Pickens, Higgins. I don't know, bro. You're not gonna like what I'm about to say, but I don't think. I mean, you could maybe win with this team. It could crawl to first play or crawl to a playoff berth, and then ensue in beating one team somehow, some way at a time. But I don't want to trade Achane. I don't really want to trade. You're probably going to have to trade Achane. But you can do it in a smart way. He can get you the world. So Barkley, Achane, Henderson, Harvey, Pickens. Your running backs are so good. You could get crazy up in here and trade Achane for like JSN or Jamar Chase or something if you wanted. Or you could get crafty, still get an RB like Rico or Judkins, and then another receiver like St. Brown or a little lesser using Achane maybe. I would try the St. Brown owner. I would try the Ibuka owner. I'd try the Rice owner. See if they consider Achane an upgrade, and then what running back can you get additionally? If you got to throw in a Shaheed, so be it. If you got to throw in I don't really want to throw in anything else. Daniel Jones, I guess, but assuming it's a 1 QB. I don't know, man. Achane for 2 players is what I'm looking at. But you have Henderson, Harvey. You could bank on that. Like this team's kind of tough to move. So if you could get 2 wide receivers for Achane, like can you get somebody to surrender a Rice and Adams or something for Achane? I don't know. This one's tough. This one's really, really tough, and you have Barkley already, if I said that. Achane for 2 players, I think, is what you got to do, Ryan. Does anybody think Ryan can win this league with May, Achane, Barkley, Henderson, Harvey, Pickens, Higgins, Tyler Warren? Maybe it's borderline. Maybe he should just hold. You also could try one move. What if we... Actually, you know what? Strike what I just said. Ryan, let's try this. The same process here. I love Harvey and I love Hendy. Okay? I don't want to trade them typically. But if we trade for a player that we dream of Harvey or Hendy playing like, and we hit a button and we'd be ecstatic about it, can we trade Henderson or Harvey with BTJ or T. Higgins or Keenan Allen for 1 wide receiver, JJ? Go after JJ. JJ using Hendy or Harvey, preferably not with Higgins, if possible. Even with Keenan Allen and BTJ, try to get one wide receiver using Hendy or Harvey and Pickens, or Hendy and Harvey and Higgins, preferably not Higgins. Hendy and Harvey, Allen, Hendy, Harvey, BTJ. One wide receiver that you would be fine with having, even if Henderson or Harvey exploded. That is the move. You pull that off, you're in the mix. That's it. We figured it out. That's it. A rock out says trade offer my marks for Tet, and then you said will only be down to my marks for Tet. So it'll be down to Tet AJB. Yeah, I probably lean toward liking Tet more for your roster than Marks, I suppose. But it's really damn close. The balance is near the same, so I don't think you're like flooding one side and then the boat flips over or anything like that. Nothing's capsizing with that move. But I probably lean Tet. Start 2, sit 2. Chat, would you rather have Tet or Woody in a vacuum, though? Not to confuse rock out. Tet or Woody in a vacuum? Start 2, sit 2. Buka, Tet, DK, Parker, Washington. I'm going to go Buka, not even close. And I'll probably go DK for high upside, high risk, because I think Aaron Rodgers and the Pittsburgh Steelers are a risk. And Tet steady, but kind of limited. I feel like Tet's either going to score with no yardage or have big yardage with no score. That's kind of the way Tet feels. So thank you for the super chat. Appreciate you. Start 2, sit 1. Dowdle, Henry, or Hendy. Right now I'm starting Dowdle and Hendy. But that could change. So are we keeping Ladd? You didn't really give me an answer. Yeah, we did. We said Ladd. Ladd's the answer. Everybody voted Ladd. Ladd's the answer, I think I said. Roughly. But yeah, we're keeping Ladd, bro. The whole chat voted Ladd. Ladd by a mile. And I do think Ladd is a low end wide receiver 1. I do like the trade. It's not bad. I think it was Pickens, right? Pickens is great too. The side you were getting was nice. I don't think you're getting sent on a lap if you do it, but the chat voted Ladd, and I kind of agree. I mean, Ladd's been one of my favorite buy lows, and he truly runs amazing routes. Herbert relies upon him. Do I think Deshaun Watson plays this year? I don't know. It doesn't sound like he's going to, but it's certainly in the cards that, kind of like the way that Vrabel's been handling Hendy and Sean Payton's been handling Harvey. It's the rookies, bro. It's like, I don't know what these rookies did. These rookies all take the coaches' wives out on like some sort of career day, and it was some debacle covered up, biggest conspiracy ever. All the rookies took the coaches' wives out, and we have no idea, because why is Harvey, Hendy, Shadur, Hunter, why are they all being mistreated? All of them, consensusly. What's going on? Crazy. Smitty, rags to riches, took second L on Barkley, called back run. 14-man, 8-2. Lamar, wow. Sorry, but you still got a great team. Lamar, running backs are Barkley, Hendy. 2 wide receivers are Pickens, Debo, Keenan, Parker. Flex, Woody, Kelsey, Bucky, Hunter. Any moves? You still probably sit on Bucky since you're 8-2, or you just try and see if there's a safe vehicle to get into. Parker, Washington on the high, Debo with the touchdown, Keenan Allen, I don't know. Pickens, I guess I'd sell Pickens if the price is right in order to move out of the Bucky game. Given you got Barkley and Hendy, you could even move Bucky for wide receiver, JJ for Bucky and Keenan, JJ for Bucky and Debo. I think somebody might look at that as an attractive package, get JJ into the lineup. Dynasty 12, Superflex. Whoops. I got Allen for Knicks, Tez, and London. You could argue this for sure. Knicks is playing really, really well. But I would probably take, in a super flex, I would take Josh Allen. But really, really kind of close and arguable, and both sides might win that depending on the need. 10, let's see, what is this? $5 hauler from Elvis, 10-man PPR, 4 and 5. Darnold, JJ, M, Burrow on waivers, Dowdle, Marks, Puka, Ted, McBride, BTJ, Washington, Benson, Loveland. Panic. I mean, Darnold's okay. Don't panic on that necessarily, but Dowdle, Puka, Ted, McBride, BTJ. I don't know if I'd say panic, but you're probably looking to move Puka. I don't know that this team's going to win it. I like it, but it's missing something. So Puka for what, though? How far do you go down? Rice or Buka? So Rice or Buka, what running back can you get straight up, or what running back can you upgrade Marks into or Benson into? I think I start there, Elvis. It's probably the best avenue. Have Love. Should I trade Garrett Wilson for Stafford? Probably. I don't know. It's a tough one. Guys, would you rather Stafford if you've got Jordan Love for Garrett Wilson, or would you rather wait on Garrett Wilson and not do a quarterback trade because you feel like Stafford's not going to hold up because of his back or something like that? Vote on that, please. Any moves? Full PPR, 10-man, Daniel Jones, London, Pickens, Brees, Hendy, Goddard, Higgins, Tay Adams. London, Pickens, Brees, Hendy. It's pretty good. I mean, you probably just want to sit on it. I mean, if I was to move anything, like Adams is solid. He's monitor him. Higgins is solid. Hendy and Brees are really solid. And London's great. And Daniel Jones is pretty decent. I mean, would I maybe move like Daniel Jones and Pickens, or maybe Brees Hall and Daniel Jones for like could I turn Brees into Rico and get a quarterback upgrade? I'd look into that. Can I move Higgins into Ladd, or Higgins into wide receiver? Could Higgins maybe look like an upgrade or a downgrade into like Pickens? You got Higgins for Adunze. I don't know if Adunze's looked at as a downgrade or not. Like, can that upgrade your Daniel Jones? I think I'd be intrigued by upgrading Daniel Jones or Pickens. I could upgrade Pickens, but Brees is really the only player I would look to maybe also trade, like Brees for Rico and a receiver, or a receiver upgrade. I think that's what I would kind of explore, because Brees is his value is so high right now. He exploded. And I think if he has a volatile stretch here, and you, all of a sudden Brees like has a bad game, you're done trying to trade him high. I think now is the time to trade Brees Hall high. Not that I want to get rid of him, not that I doubt him, but I think that if you're looking for moves, Brees Hall for Rico, Brees Hall for Jacobs, Brees Hall for Judkins, what wide receiver upgrade can we take Pickens to, or other player, or get for free? So that's where I'd take that.
Call into the show. Call into the show.
Call into the Benton Print phone line. BentonPrint.com. Owners of the Attic.shop. You know the Attic. You know the deal. You know the thing. You know the guy. These hoodies from the Attic.shop. Also Benton Print, the parent company of this amazing brand. We're giving away a hoodie this month. We're giving away a pair or two of blue light blocking glasses from our people over at Gunner.
The Gunner Player of the Week.
Brought to you by Gunner.com.
Who should be the Gunner Player of the Week this week? I'm feeling like it's going to be, let's put, man, who do I want to be the Gunner Player of the Week this week? Should we make Bijan the bounce back buddy? Let's do a bounce back buddy theme this week. Bijan, we'll have a bounce back buddy song, I think. Bounce back buddy. He's gonna Hendy Harvey. I don't want to touch Hendy Harvey. Let's just let that one go the way it needs to go naturally. Let's talk about Bijan. Bounce back buddy season. 417, you're live. Who's this? Where are you calling from?
Yo, Smitty, this is Ricky.
Ricky.
Yo, Smitty, so I just sent a super. You just told me to try to get JJ, but the JJ owner he's not active at all. He will not move. None of his guys. He got Rice too. I've been trying to get Rice since week 1. I can't touch either of those guys. I was trying to see if you had any other suggestions.
So you have what did I say to trade for Bijan?
Not Bijan, for JJ.
Or what I say?
You said to send
One of
either-
Hendy or Harvey, right?
either Handy or like Woody with like a Keenan Allen or a Debo or a Parker Washington.
All right, hold on 1 second. All right, let me merge you and Travis 1 second. I probably say. So I said JJ, right?
Yeah, I can't touch.
Yeah, what wide receiver can you get then? Is Rice attainable at all? I know
He has Rice.
Is he going to trade Rice?
No, he won't trade either of them. He told me he would look. That was like a month ago. Like
Can you get Adams? I mean, we got to worry about his.
He has Adams.
Come on, bro.
I swear, he has all three of them.
I mean, how hard would it be to get Lamb if we were to try and cook up something a little more complicated? Like, are you willing to risk it with? Damn, what could you do? I don't even know. I mean, I don't even know if you can.
The Lamb owner is like, he's like 3 and like something. Like he's like 1% chance of like making it.
Yeah.
You got Chase Brown, Breece Hall. Let me look.
So you got Hendy and Barkley. Let me put your team on screen so if the chat participate in this. So you got Lamar, Barkley, Hendy, Pickens, Debo, Keenan Allen, Parker Washington, Woody. You got Bucky, Hunter, Loveland, Bigsby. Okay, so I think the only move for you, bro, is to try and turn Bucky into Lamb. Try and turn Bucky into not going to give you Rice. He's not going to he's got all the receivers that are kind of volatile. Like Egbuka is going to be impossible to get now.
Yeah, impossible. The guy won't move with Egbuka, and the Lamb it will be impossible with Bucky too because the guy's like 1% chance he won't take Bucky. Like, he won't make.
Okay. Okay. How about this? Bucky for Bowers.
That could work because the Bowers owner actually has been wanting to move. He has HN and he's been trying to like sell me HN. He'd be saying like, "Oh, that's your guy. What are you gonna do?" And he'd be trying to get Saquon from me. But,
okay, yeah, let's do that too. Yeah. Let's do that too.
So what would it be? You think?
What about Bucky, Barkley, Pickens, and Loveland?
Loveland. Yeah.
He has Bowers and Drake London.
I know.
Garrett.
I know. I'm saying go. I mean, look, you could also scare him off from doing any deal though. So you got to be careful. But real quickly, spitballing it ahead of time, I'd say, what if you got Shannon Bowers and you gave him Bucky, Barkley, Debo, Keenan Allen, Loveland, whatever.
I have Kelsey. He's a Chiefs fan, so that could
Kelsey.
wait.
There you go.
Kelsey, yeah.
Kelsey, Barkley, Bucky, and his choice of Debo, Keenan Allen, Parker Washington, even though you give him all three, if it required it, and see what he does.
Yeah.
Then wait for the veto.
Okay, so you say Bucky, Barkley, and Kelsey, and the receiver.
And all of your wide receivers not named Pickens.
For his HN and Bowers?
Of course.
Appreciate this.
Now, if you think it's going to scare him off, though, be careful, and I would certainly do Bucky for Bowers.
How you approach it?
What?
You be careful and say what? I'm sorry.
I said be careful not to scare them out of doing any trade, because sometimes people, when they get into the habit of saying no, the deal that they would have said yes to, they're going to say no to anyway. Like, you could literally be like, I'll give you Bucky for, a scrub, and they're like, yeah, no, I'm just not going to trade. Like, they get scared for some reason. If that's this kind of guy, be careful is what I'm saying.
This guy he's like my American brother.
Bucky and Kelsey for Bowers. Would you do that if you needed to?
I would probably do it, yeah. But I'd try and get something.
he's like on the merge of like making it or not. He kind of got to like win every game. So like I was thinking of like leaving Bucky out of the deal on the low. You know what I mean?
I mean, try, but I don't think you're getting. I mean, you throw Bucky in to get HN though. You don't try and leave him out of the low on that.
Yeah, I was gonna try to do like a Barkley, Kelsey, and like a Debo or whatever.
Yeah, but is Barkley better than Bucky at this point? I don't know, man. I don't know that you can sit here and say with a straight face that Bucky's for sure coming back like in the next 2 weeks. I mean, they could linger this thing. So I'd be careful. I think for a team you want to take what you can get.
Yeah, but I made it in 2 though, Smitty. So I'm like on the playoffs.
I know. I know. I'm just saying that for a lot of teams, if someone said, "Hey, I can get Barkley for Bucky right now," and it almost doesn't matter which record, it's a pretty decent deal.
Yeah. Well, I was thinking like.
But I'd rather have Bucky in your situation. I would.
Thinking not giving RBs, you know, Smitty.
Well, it sounds like you want to just work him over, bro. You want to pull a shirt over his head, knock him over.
I mean, yeah. I just didn't want to give up both, like Bucky and Barkley. That's the thing.
Okay. You don't want Bowers and HN. I don't know how to convince you, bro.
No, I'm gonna try it. We'll see what happens.
All right, Ricky, appreciate you, bro. Yeah, call back if you got another one. Later.
All right.
Let me see real quickly. Let me just get these super chats. Hold on, Travis. Let me just get these super chats out of the way real quickly. This one here. Sticky 6-4 10-man last week to trade in the league that doesn't trade. Hurts, Jamar, Buka, no pressure. J-Mo, Pierce, Bijan, Kyron, Hendy, Harvey, Marks, Vidal, Tyler, Warren, Gadsden. Any ideas? Honestly, this is such a good team with so much depth, and I don't think there's much to really worry about here. If I was to move anything, it'd be maybe trying to get rid of Gadsden, but he's injured now. Like the move was last week, but I know you're saying they don't trade. I'm fine not doing a thing. If I could trade Gadsden, maybe with, I don't even know what I'd do. I like it. Gadsden and Marks for just like one better player. That's the only thing I'd just go poking around. You know, is Dunze that guy? Maybe. Is Adams injured that guy? Sure. Is Rico Dowdle attainable using Gadsden and Marks right now, or Vidal and Gadsden? Go to the Hampton owner, see what you could cook up there. That's the only thing I'm looking at. That's a damn good team. A total hold squad. I like it a lot. And let's see. Harris, appreciate you. 12 team PPR 5-5 QB JD5 love. That's rough right now. Cook, Hendy, Sharps, Mason, DeMarcado, JSN, Lamb, Pickens, Debo, Alec, Myers, Goddard. Trade Pickens and Goddard for Bowers and Diggs. I would take Bowers and Diggs. Probably don't even hesitate for a second, even though I did. It's because I'm tired. Take Bowers. Just take it, man. Take it and run. Such a good trade. And I love Pickens, but 6-4 in a 12-team league. But Diggs is playing great. 6-4 in a 12-team league. Superflex. Allen, Genty, Judkins, Rice, AJB, Warren, Bench, Darnold, Purdy, Manungai, ETN, Tootin, Watson, Ayuk, Ire, Help. Superflex. Allen, Genty, Judkins, Rice. Great team. Rice, Buka. I'd trade AJB. AJB is hard to trade right now, but you know what's the best recipe for a player that's hard to trade? You couple them in a 2-for-1. So Genty and AJB for one better RB, one slightly better RB, or just a complicated Rico Dowdle and a different complicated receiver that you just like the combo better. Maybe that's going to be the safer avenue. Genty and AJB for Rico and something. Go see what the something can be. Genty and AJB for Judkins and something. Go see what that something can be. Yeah. And I don't necessarily need to trade Genty. I could go AJB for Pickens works. Adams hurt works. People are freaking out about Adams right now. It's a risk, but it seems like he's okay. JJ Would I trade Genty and A.J. Brown for JJ and a running back or JJ and something? Now, you have Judkins and who's your other RB? Tyler Woods. You kind of need a running back. ETN. You get ETN and Tootin. I'd say Genty and AJB shoot higher than JJ. Try and get Lamb. Genty and AJB could get Lamb. Maybe not in everyone's world, but that's certainly not one you should act like can't happen. I've seen way worse things happen than that. Try that. That's a great move. But I'd take JJ and something. Lamar Jackson, Stafford, Bijan, Hampton, Spears, Benungai, wide receivers, Buka, Rome, Waddle, Shakir, Goddard, likely. Trade ideas or wait on Hampton. You're 6-4. Benungai. Waddle and Hampton for one player is what I'd do. Yep. You could even look to move Benungai to the Swift owner in some deal, same deal or another deal. Waddle and Benungai to the Swift owner for one player. I like Waddle. I don't hate Waddle, but I'd certainly sell him. Hampton and Benungai to the Swift owner. Yeah. Go to the Vidal owner. Like Rome, love Buka, love Bijan, like Stafford a lot right now. I think that's the only thing I'd maybe look to do. At least initially, that would be my first thought. I have Jalen Hurts, Jalen Warren, Benungai, Tet, Chase, Dowdle, Swift, Rice, Rashad White, J-Mo. Was offered Brees for Bucky. At 3-7, you have to take Brees Hall. It doesn't feel good, I know, and there's a chance Bucky comes back after this week, but it's just a chance, and I don't even know. If I had to guess, it might be 50-50 to maybe 50 to 70% chance. Maybe I don't even think I could say 70 in good. Like, we don't know, so it's a total guess. I'd say 55% chance Bucky returns for week number 12. He's out this week, week 11, and then there's maybe only a 70% chance, 70-75, which is still a big number, that he returns for week 13. My feeling says week 13, but I can't. That's just my gut. I have nothing to go on. Nobody has anything because they've been quiet and tight-lipped about this. But you have to take Brees Hall. You're 3-7. You can't afford to wait. You just can't. And that, honestly, that's pretty damn good. To get Brees Hall, an actual offer for Brees Hall, and you're giving a guy that just exploded in week number 10, I'd take that. That's a great trade. All right, Travis, you're live. Thank you for the super chats, guys.
Would you take Alec Pierce or Addison rest of the season? I was asking, and I was looking at it. It's a really good question because Pierce has been really good. Like,
he has been really good. Yeah. It's such a tough call because the better player, and I'm not saying anything bad about Pierce, but the better player is Addison. But does JJ McCarthy, has he ever met him? I don't know.
Yeah. I think the better talent is Addison, but
sure.
I mean, Pierce, like, I know the game's changed. There used to be, year 3 breakouts were very common and stuff like that, but I mean, Addison's big and he's fast and he's kind of a unique target. It's just tough. I don't know which way I'd go.
Well, let me just look at Addison real quickly. Target wise from last week, he got 11
Holy
crap. Got 11 targets, but he only pulled in 3 balls. That's how bad JJ McCarthy is. I mean, right now, I'm not saying JJ McCarthy's completely donezo, but goodness gracious, man. 3 catches on 11. That's not Addison's fault. You know how I know that? Let me go over to Justin Jefferson, and I'm going to get a very similar number. He had 12 targets and 4 receptions. You're telling me that Addison and JJ are dropping that many footballs? Absolutely not. That's JJ McCarthy failing to deliver good footballs to both of these premier wide receivers.
And if you look at Pierce, he's getting as many targets. He got 7 last week, 13 the week before, and 2 weeks before that. Something's definitely changed with Pierce in that offense.
Yeah, I think smart money's on Pierce, but I couldn't blame someone for wanting to go with the better talent. But Pierce is the current answer. There's really no debating it right now. Could it change? Yeah, and if you're going to predict the wind to shift, no one can tell you can't predict the wind to shift. Look at all the players. Look at Quentin Johnson. The first 5 or 6 weeks in the year, everyone's going to be like, he's the best. If you're predicting the wind to shift.
Yeah, and just a note, Alec Pierce is available in almost 50% of leagues, and I bet most people have someone they could drop for Pierce, so make sure he's not out there.
Yeah. And he is the waiver wire wide receiver. He's not on this board. We need to put him on this board. We need to put him over here. So Pierce, you could probably put Pierce at the top.
Yeah, he's got to be right up there with Franklin. Who else we had?
Yeah.
Yeah,
all right.
Yeah, last night we had him at the top. Franklin, Pierce, Franklin, Parker.
Yeah, I got him. I got him on this board, but on the bigger board, like so people could say, like, "Oh, Smitty, I'm so tired of seeing this, this board with everyone on it." I decided, you know what, I'll make. Let's see, I'll make a little smaller list. Burrow and JD5 are question marks there, but Loveland, Otten, Pierce up above Tez and Parker. I got Sean Tucker, Tootin, Bigsby, B. Rob Jr., Corum. This is kind of like an isolated list sorts. Thoughts on T. Higgins 3 and 7, Stafford, Dak, Kyron, Judkins, Dowdle, Chase Brown. If you can start all 4 running backs, I love that. If you can't start all 4, I'm probably trading one of them. Which one? Probably, I don't know, whichever one could give me the right deal, I suppose. And I'm sending them packing, not with Rice, not with Buka. Don't send that at all, with MHJ or Addison. Preferably Benson and MHJ, or Benson, MHJ, and Addison for one player. All right, let's see what your offer is. I haven't read it yet. It's right below. It is. Got offered T for my Judkins or Dowdle. No. I like T, but maybe Judkins, I guess, in T, but I'd probably rather you do a different trade. I'd rather trade MHJ and Benson for T. Higgins, which I think is an acceptable trade offer. Problem is they're going to be like set in their ways and wanting this specific deal, but I mean, maybe Benson and MHJ could get you a similar player. I mean, MHJ still got value, and he had a touchdown catch that got knocked out of his hands, so like it would have been a totally different story had he pulled that in. Dunze, maybe. Adams, banged up right now. Pickens is another player I think is completely undervalued. So Pickens for Benson and MHJ, or Benson and Addison, something like that. Yeah. Or you just keep MHJ, I suppose. I still think he could have a good year. It's just, he's a little volatile. All right, what else you got, Travis?
Actually, I was going to ask you, H13 had the other question earlier where he was asking about McBride and QJ versus Warren and Odunze. What side did you land on? Because I said I would easily take Warren and Odunze just because Warren can rival McBride, and I think Odunze clears QJ by a lot. But I wanted to know if I was, wrong on that or missing anything.
I think I said.
And I get McBride's been like really good, so.
I think I ended up saying at the end of the day, I wanted the Dunze side too. The chat voted. I let the chat look at it, and then I came through and I said, let me see here. Hold on. Doobie's one of our mods we've had for a long time. Doobie, there you should have mod access right now. Doobie, you see that access there? Don't abuse it, Doobie. Doobie's been a mod for a while. We just haven't seen him for quite some time. Doobie, welcome to the show, pal. I don't know. I think I would go with the Adunze side, but I think I let the chat vote first, is what I'm remembering, and then I ended up saying, yeah, I'm gonna agree with the chat. But I was wavering, like I was kind of waiting for the chat vote.
Yeah. Yeah, he's got his mod back. He's got
All right.
back.
Yeah, Doobie was with me on the forums. He was a moderator for me on the forums over on the content side for a long time. So he's been in and out, but yeah, I think he's gonna watch a little more. So
what about Genty versus Judkins rest of the season? I know the easy thing to say is Judkins because of what he did, what he's done, but Genty gets a lot of PPR work. He's had 5 targets the past couple games, and
I kind of like them both right now, about even.
Yeah, okay. That's what someone was asking. They need a running back, and I think they have Allen and May. Or they had someone really good with May, and they're looking to trade May. And he was asking May for Genty or Judkins, either one. Or
Yeah,
I had said pretty even.
You know, it's a good question because, like, even when I thought about this earlier today too when we were going through names, but Judkins is in a volatile offense. Genty's in a volatile offense. Judkins is probably more likely to see touchdown carries, I think, and Genty's way more likely to see PPR work. So they're kind of dead even, and they're both in volatile offenses. Makes me almost want to say Genty, when you say it out loud and you start walking yourself through it verbally.
Yeah, and I mean, personally, I think Genty is better.
Of course. Yeah. Judkins is Marshawn Lynch. Nothing wrong with that. Genty is like Arian Foster, Priest Holmes, Sean Alexander.
I think people have to remind themselves of that, especially when they're talking about Dynasty, because too often I see people in Dynasty leagues getting like too short-sighted where, we talk about don't look too far into the future, don't look 4 or 5 years out, but you also see people like, oh, he's not doing anything for me now, I'm going to get rid of him.
Yeah. All right, I think I'm going to bounce. I'm getting exhausted here. Final question, and then...
Yep. Last one. Would you trade Rico and Adunze for Bijan?
Rico and Adunze for Bijan. I think that we talked about this one. I'd take Bijan. Easy. If it was Rico and Rice or Rico and Buka, then I think we're talking about a wavering type of question, which may still land me on Bijan. I mean, we're 2 weeks out from Bijan being the number one untouchable JSN Gibbs value player. We're 2 weeks away.
People did this with Gibbs.
Yeah, Gibbs 2 weeks ago, everyone hated Gibbs. Gibbs, Smitty. Like, I mean, so unless it's Buka or Nico with Rico, and even then, I don't know. We're not taking and I love Adunze, but we're not taking Adunze and Rico Dowdle for Bijan. And I'm not saying this to you, Travis. It's a good point. Yeah. I mean, let's not freak out on Bijan. I mean, there's some concerns, and we did the panic chamber on this. But, a couple of you fickle Freddies who you don't even watch the video. Like, I had one guy go, this guy's 1 week telling you to go get Bowers. Now he's telling you to trade him because I have Bowers in the panic chamber graphic. And rightfully so. People are panicking on him. The panic chamber is not just my panic. It's the community, the fantasy industry. The fantasy football population, the populace is panicking on Bowers, and I don't always close the doors, just like I didn't when we went through panic chamber Brock Bowers the other night. Brock Bowers was in the panic chamber. Garrett Wilson closed those damn doors, but Garrett Wilson, let's get him out of there. And what I said, if you missed it, you can see the graphic. It has Brock Bowers. It has, who else was in the panic chamber on that one? It was Brock Bowers, Bijan, and JJ, yeah. And Bijan was in the panic chamber, so was Brock Bowers. But I said,
you are safe.
I said you were safe. I did not close the door. So you got to go watch that video if you need more information on that. But let's respect Bijan. It's crazy.
Yeah, I like him as like the gunner player of the week. That's a good.
Yeah,
good
bounce
drop
back,
for him.
buddy. Bounce back, buddy. All right, we'll see you later, Travis.
Thanks, buddy.
Later.
Later. Bye.
All right. Thank you, mods, too. Thomas says, best in the business, go Hawks, JSN to the moon. God, Thomas, you must be flying high right now. The Seattle Seahawks are like the most, I don't want to say, I don't mean to be disrespectful on this. I'm saying this in a way that's like, I'm trying to like exude respect, but like the most, I don't want to say it's underwhelming, but they're the most crafty, understated, monster team in the league. It's not even like, oh, they're skating by, they're getting lucky. The defense is, the whole team is just a freaking well-oiled machine. It reminds me of like one of those teams that wins the NBA championship against a super team. And it's like not a lot of huge, I mean, JSN's a big name. I'm not saying that. Like in general, it's like Darnold, it's, Walker, Sharps, and they have a good enough running back in their eyes to start with just one of them. They've got Arroyo, and they got a rotational tight end situation. They can't even commit to one tight end. They've got so many like, even level playing field teams. But I mean, what a squad! What a squad the Seattle Seahawks team is, and the Rams. I mean, the West is just an unbelievable. And the Niners are in the running, but they can't compete with Seattle and the Rams right now. And so this West, I mean, Cardinals are trash. Niners are just in shambles, and part of that's injuries, but part of that's coaching. Part of that's, and why is it that way? But I don't know. These Eagles, man, there's no contending team in this division. Rams or Seahawks are going to try and put the Eagles down. That's for sure. The Detroit Lions are going to try and put the Eagles down. Green Bay's a fraud. Chicago's, come on. Vikings, nothing. They're nothing burger right now. Falcons, paper tigers. Bucks, in shambles, but really good. But are they going to put it all together? Is it glued and going to break? Or are they going to get this fracture to heal before the playoffs so that they don't break and crumble? Carolina, fun team. Cool story, right? But it's not going to happen. Playoff berth, maybe. They're fighting for one of the last wild card seat that will fight for it for sure. But they're not. They make it in. It's just a cool story. Goodbye. Round one. See ya. Bucks probably not going super deep, but if they fixed everything they could. Bucky, we got to remember too, Bucky is a top 5 running back. And if a team gets a top 5 running back on the roster, especially one as good as he is in the PPR game, maybe the Bucks play a whole lot better than people expect. But right now it's the Lions, Rams, Seahawks, and maybe the Bucks that are going to contend with taking down this, I think, very, very overrated Eagle team. Not that they're not good enough to dominate the rest of the league. I'm just saying they don't feel like that. Oh my God, this is the best team in the conference. It's not close. Just traded Debo for Jones. Team is a mess. For Jones. For what Jones? Aaron Jones? I think Aaron Jones. Lamar, Stafford, Jets, Worthy, Moore, Downs, Jacobs, Jones, Benungai, Hubbard, Tootin, Help. I don't know, man. What do you do with this team? I don't know how you're 7-3, bro. I don't know how you pulled this off, bro. This is one of the most biggest miracles I've ever seen. I got a link for you. Underdog, promo code Smitty, where any man can start over. $5, play 5, get $100. This is where I send people that I don't know if I can help. This is like going into the doctor and saying, Doc, can you save it? And I say, I don't think so, Steve. You came to me a little too late. Circulation's gone. I don't know how you're 7-3. This is one of the most remarkable feats I've seen in my life. Unless this is a 22-man league. How in the hell did you pull this off? They're going to do studies on this team, bro. This team traded Debo for Jones. I don't know what you can do. There's not a single sell high on this roster. Even Lamar, you can't sell high. I'm in awe of you, my friend. This is what you call 10 out of 10 management right here. This is the manager of the year right here. Jack, you've been doing good things, pal.
You've just been
Jack's been winning with the waiver wire. This is like a guy that starts off with 0 players. He hits the wire and he's beating everybody. 7-3. Jack, there's a lot of people watching that don't have one team that's 7-3. Yeah, I mean, I guess you try and trade Lamar. Yeah, it's the only move. That's what Travis said. I agree. You try and trade Lamar. Jettas is nice, but you can't sell them high. So you're going to try and trade Lamar. You could try and trade Jettas down to like Adams or Rice or something if you can get something massive with it, or an upgrade from, let's call it, Aaron Jones to Rico. Like, you do something weird like that, Jettas for Adams and Rico, and you throw in Aaron Jones, and boom. Jack, I'm not saying don't try, Jack. I'm not saying don't try at all. Jacobs for Hendy and Pittman, like something like that. That could work. But I'm telling you, if you take Jettas and turn them into, like, go to Rico Dowdle, go to Judkins, see what wide receiver you can get. You do that, boom, that's one move. And then if you take Lamar and turn him into, let's say, Dak and Lamar for Dak and, I want to say a little more than Pickens, but something along those lines. Maybe you get the Rico Dowdle there. Like, boom. There's 2 moves where you have, let's call it Dak, Rico, Judkins, Adams. Like, then all of a sudden you got a little bit of a squad. It's a tough one, though, Jack. Jack, that's one of the tougher ones I've seen in a while, and I'm very proud of you, though. I hope you're not taking offense to this. It's unbelievable. My Chiefs in Seattle or LAR Super Bowl, my prediction. Chiefs versus Seattle or Chiefs versus Rams. Yeah. I think the Chiefs are definitely in the top 6, 7 teams in the entire National Football League for sure. What if I sent offers of MHJ plus Kyron or Dowdle for Bijan? I'm fine with that. I'm fine with either one. Who would I rather keep? Probably, I don't know. Chat, would you rather have Kyron or Dowdle? I think Kyron by a hair. But honestly, that could shift with one game of Dowdle getting 3 touchdowns or a 2 touchdown game. Like, so I understand it's very even. But that's really, really good. Guy sent you Buka for Wilson plus Flowers last week, is panicking. You better take the Buka side. Guy sent me Buka for Wilson. You better have taken that Buka side. Is that the one you already took? That's awesome. And the last super chat of the evening. Appreciate you all. You guys are absolute monsters. This one here from Alex. Appreciate you. Just sold Cook and Pitts for McBride and Henry. I like that. That's like. Do I like Cook more than Henry? Sure, but you get McBride over Pitts. I like that. It's a really good 2-for-2 move. That's how you slide into a slightly better duo versus the one single player. So congrats on that, my boy. Is Hendy injured? Go watch my new show from 8 p.m. He injured his knee, but he came back in and ran a 69-yard touchdown and looked completely fine. And he's had a limited session, but the quick turnaround to Thursday is the only concern. Is there a world where he sits? I mean, it's possible, but it sounds like we're going to get good news tomorrow based on the news we got today. Appreciate you all. Make sure you get on over to the Patreon 365-24 live chat. But I got exciting news about the Patreon moving forward. You'll hear it really, really soon. I'm going to gather my thoughts on it and come up with the entire game plan as to how I'm going to turn the Patreon into something even more glorious than it is. Right now, it's a live chat, and there's an ability to create content, but I'm going to step it up, and the Patreon is going to become more than just a live chat. It's going to become a must-have content type of situation. So hang tight. The Patreon is going to be where our community lives. It's our home base. And you're going to want to be a part of this. I'm going to tell you that right now. I'll see you all tomorrow. Appreciate every single one of you. Thank you for the super chats. Thank you to my moderators, Travis, Blackbeard, Sick Nasty, Space Ricky, The Bolt, Vampy, Doobie's even out there tonight. See you all later. Appreciate every single one of you. And on that note,
Taking it to the house every time we touch it. football, baby. Taking it to the house every time he touches the football,
But the continuum of the gigawatt component structure of Jahmyr Gibbs' workload divide has a megawatt offload that if you compartmentalize the component conjunction timekeeper and you flux capacitor out the continuum component megabolt, things just end up happening. And that's why Jahmyr Gibbs is a top 5.
HM.
He's Kyron. He's 7 feet tall.
Brees Hall is 8 foot tall. He will always answer the mother freaking call.
Jam.
Don't
Call
let him.
HHH and Associates.
Triple H and Associates. Locations on Earth and Jupiter.
What is that smell? Someone needs me.
Help! Help! I'm going to lose my fantasy week! Somebody help! Call the Scat Man!
I am Scatman. Who needs my help? Wow. Bang, bang, boom. To the moon. Now it's time to go pick up your mother.
Don't forget to get on over to the Patreon. The link is right here one more time, dropped in the live chat. The link is, I believe, pinned in the live chat as well. Again, you will not want to miss out on this Patreon revolution that we're about to ignite. It's already amazing. $10 a month, cancel anytime. $10 a month, cancel anytime. You can't beat it. It's your own private chat group. 24/7, 365. Just amazing group of people just helping out. And obviously, Travis, myself, we're in there, in and out throughout the day. It's not meant to be, let's @message Smitty and get Smitty to answer all my questions. It's about you talking to the community, and Travis and I are part of that. And we're going to chime in on a lot of messages, and not every message, but you're going to love it. And it's going to be amazing. It's definitely the home base of where the community lives, because we have a live chat group that you see in the live chat, but then the chat ends, the live stream ends, and where do you go? You go to the Patreon. It's your group chat. We'll see you over there if you're a part of it. If not, make sure you hit that link. Cancel. Try it 1 month. See you all tomorrow.